what happened last week?
Yeah.
We lived!
I killed the Death Lord, and then someone else killed Worm Lord, whatever the hell.
All the way.
He's not relevant, he's dead.
We threw hands and won.
We destroyed the phylactery.
Completely on accident, but we did it.
Indeed, you did. And calmness falls over the battlefield, and like a switch, people begin to gather up the wounded and the dead and bring them inside of the city. Amongst those that you see who are deceased, you recognize a few faces. Kalfani is not a surprise since you saw him go down, but also among is your old friend Harana, the henna-haired Heridian. Her dog is wounded and is limping after those that are carrying her corpse into the city. Later on, you see the Kimtawa forces took the heaviest hits, and this is most felt when some of you see the wizard Horvin, his corpse being brought into the city as well.
Luca punches the tree.
Eventually, there are like a line of the dead just laid out next to the road, while there's a kind of like a impromptu hospital area set up around here. You see that the new Onalembi's war chief, Sisypho, appears to be quite heavily wounded. One arm is missing completely and he has blood smeared down his face. Several people are fussing over him. And furthermore, in the pile of corpses, you see that of Clarence Dagmar.
Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. That's gonna be a problem.
Which pile of corpses? This pile of corpses?
Yeah.
I'll go revive Clarence. Assuming it hasn't been more than a minute.
If you're like quick on it and you see him being brought in through the gates,
Yeah,
which I think there's a... I imagine for Audra there'd be a good chance that you'd be like really looking out to make sure.
She's like guiding people in.
Great.
The infirmary. That's what I would have said she had done if we had gone to this point in the last session.
Awesome. Yeah, so you would touch him, consume the diamond, and
Last loose diamond.
he coughs back to life. Ugh. Little gentler next time would be nice.
The diamond has to go in your chest. I'm sorry. Just breathe.
He kind of glares at you like, you happy?
Can I look at him to estimate how many hit points he would feasibly have?
Sure.
Because if this is just some like commoner loser, I'm gonna make him go inside and stay there. What would I roll? Like survival, insight?
Yeah, I would say insight would be more appropriate here.
I just kind of get real close to him and just I put my peepers on him.
Damn. Your boy got some peepers. You estimate that he has about... It's like more than a commoner, or like a noble, like more than 5, but less than 20.
I just kind of look at Audra and I go, I think politically it'd be best for us if this kid stayed inside. Just politically, because I feel like if he died, and everyone would be really mad at us.
Hey, Clarence, would you mind going and taking a nap while I deal with the rest of the people who are?
I am not some child to be grounded. And he gets up and stomps off angrily.
That was very mature.
You're not quite sure if he's gonna go take a nap, but he's going inside somewhere.
Okay, that's good. That's good for us, because I don't want to face the consequences of his death.
As you guys are doing that, the three council members, they kind of regroup and then approach the party as a whole. Sophia taking the lead. Truly, we could not have done that without all of yours help. All of Grove thanks you.
That was really scary, right? Audra will say and then just straight up hug her.
She'll just hug back happily. You have grown so much since you left. I am very glad.
Like physically, or am I taller?
She kind of does that thing, where people try and measure their heights against one another. She puts her fingers to the top of her head and draws an invisible line. Maybe.
I feel taller.
She pats both of your arms and kind of wiggles you in a way that's meant to bolster you. You are holding yourself taller.
Yep.
I thought people stopped growing at 12. I didn't know that.
12? Oh.
Yeah.
When I was 12, I was up to here. She kind of marks elbowish.
Not taller than Arazid already then.
He just gets real quiet and kind of goes, oh, okay.
Perdak, being a fellow member of a short race, just kind of nods at you understandingly.
I nod back in appreciation. I'm gonna try to assess what can be done about the wounded. Should they just rest? Do we have any sort of healing salve? Is there anything I can make in the area? Because how soon do we need to be ready to go again?
If I remember correctly, we have 2 days to get as many as we can to Jaras to help them.
It is currently still Invasion Day 17, and it's estimated that forces will hit Jaras on day 20.
Okay,
so we have 2 full days and the rest of today.
You have 1 flying island, and many spells.
Well, Chance is going to look past the leaders to this fucker. And he's just going to walk up. I don't give a shit that you lot lived. Gather who you can and get them ready to go to Jaras.
Palu will salute at you. As you wish.
That worked? That was real rude. That worked? Okay, maybe I gotta step it up.
Chance then just turns and walks back over, looks to Arazid, kind of going oh, that worked. He's just gonna give a look of no. This works because they think that my father inhabits my body.
Oh right, that was.
They're insane cultists. I hope you never have this experience.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah.
Well, the summit warriors seem to have, like, begun to march away.
Oh, they're marching now? Okay.
They're, like, marching back towards the island.
Okay.
They only have dead or uninjured, basically. So these guys, they need a nap, but they're pretty ready to go. There's been a lot of very, you know, a lot of endurance training they've had to survive.
Chance is going to look to the Grovian leaders. I cannot ask already. I know there is much to do here. A forest to trim down and ensure there's no stragglers left behind and everything, but any forces that you can spare to aid Duras, I'm sure they'll be thankful.
The three will nod at you. Perdak steps up. He's very short, but, like, his lance is taller than you. So he still gives a very...
personality is larger than life.
Yes. He gives a very, like, very strong, big presence. Regardless.
Who knows?
We're gonna hunt them down. At this point, Celeria will speak up. Prithee, my forces and I haveth a fast travel between here and where thy next battle be. We can stay behind and scout from above.
Very well. If your forces, when they're ready, Duras is in that direction. Do that direction. And you're just gonna, like, point in, like, vague...
Northeasterly, it would be.
Yeah, northeast, kind of, like. You'll see a giant cliff face with a city on top of it. That is where they'll be attacking next, in the next place to defend.
We shall keep our eyes out for the other army. I don't think you will be hard to find, especially with... And she glances up towards the sanctuary.
Yeah, it's not particularly subtle.
Chance will nod. Turn towards the Kamtawa. 3 main people that are still alive. Your forces took the most damage and everything. I understand if you do not want to go defend another city that you have no idea about, or probably even care about, but if you do and want to get revenge for your fallen, the leader of this army will be attacking another city.
How would the Kamtawa 3 react?
Luca's gonna look at the other two and see what they're reading first.
Once I've coughed. There's just this look in Samantha's eyes. It's an old look. It's someone who has been through so much shit and has just had another load of it piled on top. I won't force them to fight, but I'm going.
Yeah, let's let the ones who survived stay, but Sam goes, I go.
Whoever wishes to come, will probably take tonight to rest, and I'm guessing the Sanctum will be leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, time is getting on. The battle took a good deal of time. The forces didn't arrive until about 11 as it is, so it's probably around like 4 p.m. now.
I forget. Sorry, just out of thing. When we level up, do we instantly get access to that 8th level spell slot?
I believe so.
Okay. So in that case, Chance is going to turn to the group as a whole. I'm also very concerned about Azure. The fact that he didn't show up. If no one has any objections, I'm going to go head out to where he was hanging out, I guess. Or was supposed to re-meet them. I'll take to the air, do some scouting as well, make sure there's no stragglers that I can see. And see what's going on over there.
Are you sure you should go alone? I can come with you. I can.
And the first sign of danger, I can just teleport back to Grove.
And you're sure you're fine to? Are you hurt? How hurt does Chance look?
I think I was at like 47 HP, or like right around like the high 40s. Because I don't have it denoted, and this character redid, so I'm just gonna say I have like 44 health.
And you're not cursed anymore, correct? Like you can
No.
regain a hit point?
Yeah. Actually,
Okay,
no. I should be at like half health because I regained a whole bunch of hit points from wailing on the Wormlord.
The most current one I have for you is 74 out of 106.
Yeah, 74, so that's correct. I know it was like 4 and a 7, I just thought it was the other way around. So yeah, I'm about half HP, so Chance looks like somewhat tired, somewhat beat up, because, you know, went to the brink of death against a bunch of curses.
Yeah, Audra's just like, she's putting her hands on you and like checking you over and just casts, uses her new 8th level slot to cast heal on you.
Which is, how much healing?
70.
Perfect.
More than that.
So, I go to full health, and then Chance will nod to the others.
It's actually way more than 70 because she's using an 8th level, but yeah.
Be 100, wouldn't it?
It would be 100,
90.
yeah, she drops 100 health.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
Okay, you look better. You feel better?
Chance will nod. Alright then. Well, the sun is setting. I should get there as fast as I can. Gonna like pats down his person. Does anybody have a healing potion in case I get there and Azur's injured? At least something to stabilize.
I think Audra has one. Hold on.
I don't have one because I have the helm. Could I helm you?
I don't think that magic's gonna stay long enough.
Okay, Audra will pass you a potion of greater healing. Make sure you put that in your inventory.
Perfect. There we go. I just realized I need to go through and reorganize my inventory because I have, I think, one healing potion or something in here just seen, but now I've lost it again. Either way, off we go. Chance will kind of like nod. I'll be back as soon as I can get some confirmation of what happened to Azur, or if there's any threats still lingering there. I'll try and see what I can and teleport back. And with that, Chance turns and starts to head out.
Alright. What does everyone else get up to?
After punching some trees until her fists are bloody, Luca's gonna check on Sophia and make sure she's okay.
She appears to be quite shaken up, but otherwise okay. There's also seems to be an undercurrent that she's sad that you're leaving.
be back.
Her face lights up like the summer sun.
Come on, if 80 ghosts couldn't keep me down.
She just reaches out to touch you. She touches your bicep, squeezes gently. There's a lot of muscle there, I'm assuming now.
It's so buff.
We have an old saying. Come back with your shield or on it. Since you don't use a shield, I expect you to come back.
On the oh shit. I'll be back. I'll be back. Right, Sam? We've seen worse than this. Totally.
Well, this might have been the worst you've seen. This isn't the worst I've seen, though.
See? Sam's seen worse.
She reaches up behind her neck and unclasps her necklace and places it in your hand. Something to protect you. It's a very simple design. It's just like a very dainty silver chain with like one leaf, also made out of silver, dangling as the pendant.
I mean, of course Luke is gonna put it on, but does it do anything, just for my notes?
Yep. Once a day, you can cast. I forgot the name of the spell, and I haven't written it down. False life.
Ooh.
And you can cast that as a 3rd level spell once a day.
As a 3rd level?
Yep. So it's that would be a 1d4 plus 14. Let me write that up in a handout for you quick.
In return, I give Sophia what might seem like an extremely strange gift. I give her a painting of a very beautiful lady. I just unscroll it from my bag.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just for you to look at while I'm gone.
There you go. Just for reference. And after that, she's going to turn away and start helping to attend to the wounded, as several of her druid colleagues are already doing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to probably be keeping Audra occupied for the next little bit, too. It's just, like, casting good berry, giving people good berries who are close to death and are maybe a little bit hungry, because it's about 3 p.m. Maybe people want a snack, you know?
I'm following Audra around like a lost little dog because I killed a really big evil guy, and I'm just kind of like shaking from adrenaline, and I'm like, Audra is a calming presence, so I need a little bit of R&R, and my R&R is being around Audra.
Here, Arazid, can you hold these berries and help me toss them out?
Yeah, I can do that. I can always do that. I actually, my hands are really small. You should have gotten someone with bigger hands to hold your berries, but I can put them in my bag.
Arazid hears in his head as Audra rubs his back. It's gonna be okay. I'm right here. Everybody's fine. Well, everybody we love is fine.
Except Horvin.
you hear back in your head, and you get the sense that this is not initiated from you or to do with your power whatsoever.
Because she can't.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to do. I don't. Is my mom okay? Where's my mom? I don't know where anyone is. We have to leave in like. Are we gonna leave in the middle of the night? I mean, it's 3. Should we sleep now? You just hear like this. It's like stream of consciousness, stress.
Audra's jaw drops in excitement. Arazid. Okay, do it again. Do it again.
What? What am I doing? Like Arazid is talking, but like you still hear this like stream of just like, okay, I know what to do. I'm gonna find my mom. Okay, also what's going on with Sophia, that was really cute, and I really hope that but what if that goes wrong? Gee, what if her new friend or whatever dies? Oh, when we go to Jaras, am I gonna be able to see my wife? Like, it's just like this weird, but like he's also talking to you with his mouth, and he doesn't seem to be conscious that he's doing it.
In Arazid's hears deep breath. Okay, maybe you chugged a mind. Maybe I would drink a mind reading potion, but it's fine. We'll find your mom. It's fine. And we can do all of those other things too. I'm sure Sophia knows what she's doing.
Oh, did I say that with my mouth?
No.
Oh. You hear like a very tentative in your head, hello?
Hi. Would have been nice to know that you could do that like a while ago, because
No, I didn't
worry about.
This is new information.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah, that's a new thing. Okay, we don't have time to get into that. That's a new thing though.
We can make time. We'll pass out the good berries, and we'll find your mom, and, we'll just practice a little bit. Maybe you could try somebody else.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Actually, I don't want Providence to hear my thoughts, because I don't really want to overwhelm them.
I do Providence literally all the time, but okay.
Maybe I'll try Solas, because I think Solas will just ignore it, and then I won't know if it's good or bad. And then that will make me feel better. Don't know if it will be helpful, but it will make me feel better.
Okay, let's try. Maybe something positive, because we just went through a really tough battle.
So just leading up to that, I want to know what Solas is currently doing.
He is sat down back against a tree, just looking tired. Like, not only is he processing the fact that he's now 9 inches taller than he was like a minute ago, he is just like, he's not with it currently.
Right. I don't think your clothes grow with you, so you've got like there's a good amount of ankle and leg and wrist and forearm showing as well. Like, you look like Pee Wee Herman. And just kind of flop there. And what do you hear in your head, Arazid? I mean, what does Solas hear in his head from Arazid?
Just, Arazid fixes his gaze on Solas from across the way, and his eyes go wide, and he goes, I feel like I look stupid. I don't think this is gonna work, but it's like completely telepathic, and that's what you hear in your head.
Does Solas react?
Not too noticeably, no.
Yeah, see, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, Audra. I don't think that worked.
Try again.
I just look at him and I go,
yeah, I got nothing. I don't know. You're cool. I don't. Actually, why did I say that? Because then if you do hear that, you're gonna think I'm lame. I don't know. Everyone already probably thinks I'm lame, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I feel like I should be able to control. It's hard to speak telepathically when all your thoughts are sad all the time. I don't know. Maybe this isn't. I don't know.
Any reaction?
Also, you can communicate back with the power that I have.
I know. Nah. Again, nothing overly noticeable.
I turn back to Audra and I'm just like, maybe this is just like an us thing. Maybe it's just like the bond that we have is so special. I don't know if I should say that you're married. I'm married. The bond that we have is so special that like it's
We're
between
just
us only.
Engaged, maybe? Pretend married? Pretend pregnant?
Yeah, the pregnancy, there's no way that's real. I know how babies are made. But the marriage, I don't know if that's real or not. I gave her a ring. I don't know if that's real or not.
What was there like a person? Like a priest or like something?
No.
Not unless
Solas
Casey counts.
Probably done it too at one time. I think paladins have like. Anyways, I'm just gonna one sec. You know, it's I don't think it's a you problem. I think it's a tap on Solas' shoulder.
You just get some slight glance in your direction.
With how large Solas is, he's sitting on the ground. If I knelt down to him, how far would I have to kneel down to be at eye level? Is it just like crouching slightly, or is it?
I mean, he is currently 6'10".
Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna crouch slightly to be at eye level. Hi, Solas. Are you? No, I'm not gonna ask you if you're okay, because you always lie. I don't know why you always do that. Here's a good berry. So do you maybe want to go get some like clothes that fit? My mom is literally a seamstress. We can get you clothes that fit.
He just sighs for a second. And then proceeds to stand up. And just looks to you, says, "With all due respect, I don't need your help." And then proceeds to cast Dimension Door.
Woo!
As he just disappears.
Because she knows how far Dimension Door goes, she's gonna yell really loud. That was deeply upsetting!
Well, I mean, he did. His mom was right there, and that must have been very, very hard for him. I hope
But
he's
she
gonna.
didn't, she just kind of turned into smoke, right? She didn't,
For you know, his mum is still right there.
Yeah, I was saying, Audra wasn't there for that. She's like, she didn't, did she
Oh yeah.
fly off, or did he mimes like a stabbing motion?
Regardless, they're not. You know, a lot happened. They're not hugging and having tea, and it's not good.
Okay, maybe we should have picked someone else to practice on then, maybe?
Speaking of someone else, what's Providence up to?
Staring at all the bodies. The completely sane thing to do.
Fair enough.
She would have tried to just have a look, not go into his bag, but just, is Mekis vibing? Mekis around?
Was he trying to poke your little brain into Solas's bag? There's how would you be able to do that? Do you just walk up and just open his bag, dare him to intervene?
Oh no, I've got telepathy, which is how I almost persuaded Mekis that,
Right.
do what I'm asking you. Probably just be that.
Yeah, you've already got an open line before. You hope that there's some kind of mental backdoor. You sense that there is some form of second presence in or around Solas.
Just shrugs. Then probably just continues to stare at the dead bodies.
Yeah, so just so you were, he did leave his bag behind.
Okay.
Just a mention Doran away from the bag. I love it.
So is the presents in the bag or is it with Solas?
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag. She'll just pick it up and keep it on her. She won't open it.
Okay. So yeah, Arazid and Audra, you're just like mulling over this newfound power. You're like, maybe you should try it on someone else. Do you?
And honestly, like, throughout the while, just like continuing to pass out good berries to people who are probably like ranging from grateful to very confused.
Cool.
And I walk up to Providence and I hand her a good berry that I got from Audra. And I make intense eye contact because I don't know that I don't need to do that for this power. And I just kind of go with my mind. I hope that you aren't as traumatized and or mad as Solas is, but you are also just staring at corpses, so I don't know. And with my mouth I say, hi, how are you?
Okay, out loud, you get a hello. That was Providence, that was me. Cold time. Mentally... Sorry, what did you say mentally?
Just some, like, general ramblings of, like, I hope you're not traumatized, because you're staring at bodies a lot, and I'm worried about you and Solas.
I mean, she's not looking at you, but you do get... You don't need to be worried.
I look back at Audra, and I give, like, a little thumbs up.
I knew you could do it!
Okay, well, I can speak with my mind now. I think that's pretty cool. I think we should give Saul some space, but also not a lot of space, because we gotta get out of here, like, by tomorrow. So, like, I feel like he should have some time to, like, Saul should have some time to, like, chill out, you know, decompress, but also, if he is not up by 6 a.m., we gotta go get him.
Well, I leave that decision to you.
Okay, yeah. Are you, actually, I don't know how to comfort people in times of war, so I'm just gonna say you did a great job, and then I'm gonna leave.
Great job, champ.
Nice murder, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Great job, and I run away. I hide in the leaves and the bushes, and I talk to Audra only with my mind.
Don't you want to find your mom?
Oh, right, and I emerge from the leaves and the bushes. Actually, can you bring her here? I'm tired. And then I go back into the leaves and the bushes.
To my knowledge, is Iron Fen literate?
You wouldn't know that, one way or the other. But Arazid, it wasn't literate when you met him.
Sure. Alright, I'm gonna start psychically just being like, Iron Fen! Iron Fen!
What you be wanting?
Hi, your son is in the bushes over there.
Oh, well, tell him I'll be there in a minute. Right now I'm up to my elbows in blood.
I'll take over. what do you, ooh. Stomach wound, okay.
Yeah,
I've got this.
you get there and it's Ironfen and Ferris are both working on trying to save Sisypho's life.
How bad off is Sisypho looking?
Yeah, he ain't doing well. In addition to the missing arm and like he's got some kind of head wound and his eyes aren't focusing. You also notice like his stomach's been slashed.
Arazid, come here.
Okay, running.
Regenerate.
Okay, I use my helm and I cast.
And I'm kind of guiding Arazid through the process, like showing him where to put his hands and everything.
Okay, this is a lot of touching. Okay, okay, here? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, the head and the stomach. Yep.
So the arm begins to grow back like a little baby arm.
Oh, this is freaky, and did I mess up? Did I do it wrong?
You can close your eyes if you want to. The visual part of the spell is over.
It's like rapidly growing. His stomach wound knots, and like Ironfen has to kind of like yank her hands out to prevent them from being like trapped in his stomach. That's a neat bit of kit that you got there, dearie. Go on.
Yes, you should be very proud of Arazid. He's very good at shooting things with arrows and can also do that.
As you can see, there are plenty more people that need that.
Oh, that specific spell?
Whatever it is that shiny can do. And she just like gestures around, and there's like over a dozen people just within like your immediate area under this like one tent, but then there's just like 4 other tents that have been set up, and all of them are like similar size, so there's a good like 50 or so people at least that are wounded and in need of some medical attention.
Okay, I'm just gonna produce a shit ton of good berries because that's what I have the capacity to do right now. Which will keep people, from dying actively while I maybe sleep for 6 hours and get bigger spell slots back.
Hopefully they won't die of bleeding in those 6 hours.
I mean, I assume if a person's on 1 hit point, that's enough to they're stable, but that's the hope. You said there's like 50 people, so I'm just gonna cast Good Berry like 4 times total.
Damn. All right.
And I get an extra D4 on each one of these, so it's like 1+. So some of them are getting heals for 5, so like some of them are doing like pretty good actually.
Yeah, for like some of the peasants that were wounded by the ghosts just before they disappeared, that'd be like them almost up to like full health. I'm assuming that in kind of more of a lore building kind of way, as they eat the good berry, it like knits their wounds back together.
Yeah, it's like their blood becomes healing for a little bit as they consume it.
Cool.
Sorry, my laptop died, and there's a lot of eyeshadow in the part where you put the charger, so it's not working.
Oh dear.
You're gonna have to, if you get one of those like compressed air, that might help.
Okay.
But yeah. So like I said earlier, Arazid spent a decent amount of time with me like passing out good berries. So that's like 40 people.
Cool. You spend a good amount of time doing that. Providence just continues staring down at the dead bodies.
No, she takes Solas's bag, goes back to the manse. Because I know that last room we shared, it was like Solas had a room, then it was divided into another room.
Yeah.
So she'll just put the bag on the table, just knock on the door. Your bag's in this room if you want it. Figured rather leaving it outside. And then she just leaves Solas alone.
Solas, I presume, did return to the manse, since that's where your token is.
Mm-hmm.
Does he do anything, or just kind of, like, curl up somewhere a little bit more private?
He'd be at the desk, writing away in the book he has been for the past few days.
Cool. Oh, with people, like, getting on to do more things, it's been a good few hours, and Chance would arrive at the place where they first met Azure.
Just of note, how many hours would it have been?
How fast can you move at, like, top speed?
Top speed dashing would be 120 feet every 6 seconds.
I assume you would be wanting to, like, get there and get back as soon as possible.
Yeah, without basically going as fast as you can without getting or incurring exhaustion, because I'm assuming like he would do like a big sprint for like, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe even like 45 minutes, because they're adventurers, they probably have pretty good stamina, and then like would move at like 60 feet his normal movement speed for 20 minutes, like 40 minutes dashing, 20 minutes walking type thing.
Let me just do some napkin maths.
I mean, he has like 22 dexterity, if I remember correctly, so he's got like Olympic level endurance.
No, endurance would be based on constitution.
Oh, that's true. Which is not as
Which
good
I
for you.
only have a 14, so still way better than the average person. But
So it would take you about 7 minutes to cover 1 mile if you're going at top speed. And where you are headed to is about 12 miles away. So how long did you say you'd be travelling at top speed for?
do like 40 minutes and then like down to like regular for like 20 minutes to like catch breath, kind of recover a bit, and then start like going at top speed for like another 40 minutes.
So like 2/3 of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that first burst, you'd be able to cover 7 miles, which is just over half of the distance. So
Okay,
in
so it'd be
total,
about
you'd be
2
able to
hours.
reach it in an hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to calculate if the boots would be running out of flying or not by the time that I get there.
Oh yeah, what's the
Because they only had 4 hours. So if it's
you'd
going
be
to take
fine.
an hour and a half, then I still have plenty of time because I didn't use them at all during the fight.
Yeah.
So it'd be like fully juiced still. So yeah, Chance would approach from the like top of the rocks and everything and try and, move stealthily to look down into the ruins.
The map just needs a quick update, which I forgot to do, but it won't take more than a second. Oh, I've not got the right type of thing. Never mind. Okay. You arrive back at where you first met. Azure. I'm just going to turn off this fog of war since you're in the air, you can see it all. Including a very still figure of Azure.
I'm presuming Chance would be coming in from like this area.
Yeah.
We'll kind of like kneel down. Could he tell anything from like this distance?
Give me a perception check, please. Bearing in mind there's technically a pillar between the pair of you.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just.
No. An 11's probably not going to get me much other than... That's Azur. Azur's not moving.
Yeah, and as far as you can recall, there was blood there before anyway, so...
Yeah. So Chance is going to fly over to the top of this pillar and kind of like kneel down. Before calling it, Azur!
No answer.
Damn it. With that, Chance is going to fly down. Actually, outside of the blood circle.
Smart.
Because that could be a trap.
It's closer here that you see that there appears to be a note of some form on a piece of paper that is held onto Azur's head. And it is being held onto Azur's head by a dagger that has been driven into their skull.
And kind of close his eyes a bit. And kind of say a quick, like, sorry before using telekinesis to pull the dagger out and get the note.
The note reads, "No one takes my toys away from me." Cool.
That's spooky. That cool was here, so it's a good thing we didn't show up here. Let's see. Well, I think I probably have some time. If things are around, maybe. I don't have that. Let's see. Chance gonna kneel down. Oh, the blood circle's not anything.
I was changing layers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna kneel down and kind of inspect the blood circle, trying to ensure that it's not just going to kill him if he steps on it.
Sure, I assume that'd be an Arcana check or detect magic.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for, like, just trying to see if it's magical or not.
It doesn't appear to be magical, no.
Alright. Hocus pocus, hopefully don't step on focus.
I mean, as you step forward, you get this vague sense of magic, and as you approach Azure, you realize that that is because the circle has been drawn in Azure's own blood. The chest area of Azure has been ripped wide open, as if by even larger claws than those that Azure has. The organs have fallen out, and there is kind of over here you see a discarded lung that appears to have been used as a paintbrush.
Chance reaches for his bag, kind of resting a hand on top of it, while thinking. Does Chance believe that anybody else could have the magic to raise Azur if he brings them back?
You are roll a history check.
24.
At first, no one springs to mind, but then you remember that Madame Lulu seems to have made inadvertent hints towards having some form of powerful spellcasting at her disposal.
With that, Chance kind of looks towards Azur. He's gonna dig into his bag and find... I should have... He's gonna pull out, like... I don't know. What would I have? That would work. Like, I don't know. Like, his, like bedroll and everything. Like basically just a bunch of cloth and rope that he can muster to kind of like cover the hole.
Okay.
That he can, and like try and tie it like around the wings and everything, like the best that he can. To like secure it, make sure it's not going to come off.
Yeah, there's like pieces of cloth. The hole is like very large. It's as long as you are tall. So it depends how big the pieces of cloth you have are, because they'd also need to like wrap around the
I
wide
mean,
body.
it's just trying to be like giving as much dignity as he can.
Right. Okay.
It's like I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to cover the entire
All
thing,
right.
but just trying to like do the best that Chance can while he can. To A, try and, you know, obscure this massive hole and to give dignity to Azure.
You do your best.
Chance then places a hand on like Azure's shoulder, and we cast teleport. With the Chance kind of reaches into his bag and grabs the Grove rock, kind of palming it, and teleports the body back.
Cool. Where do you pop back?
I would say don't want to like scare people, so like probably like if I can do like in this forested area.
Okay.
Or like in like a forested area where I can kind of hide the body a bit.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Yeah. So with that, Chance is then going to make his way out of the forest and start looking around for Madame Lulu. I don't know if she's still just here.
Yeah, she's. You find her amongst the tents, attending to the wounded, helping a certain group of people, handing out some pretty nice berries.
And Chance will kind of like walk up. Madame Lulu, a word, please.
What do you need?
I've been told, from what the others have said and what I've heard from you as well, you've hinted at being able to cast some powerful magics. What would it take for you to help return a friend to life? A powerful one that could act as a guardian for Grove.
How powerful are we talking?
You remember, Azure, the dragon that we were able to turn to our side?
Yes, quite the powerful creature, if I recall.
Was supposed to head back with the group and take out, help in a surprise attack. Well, we were worried seeing how he didn't return, and I headed to the place where we found him, where the Ghost Lord was supposed to meet with everyone, and I found him dead. And it appears that Azarkul was the culprit. It was a grim scene that I will not share details to. However, I've returned his body to Grove. I figured he enjoyed it here. The least I could do if I can't bring him back is to let him rest in peace. However, given that he seemed to really love the city, he may be a powerful ally for you in protection.
A noble, noble wish. There is something that I can do to help you out, if you are willing.
I've come to learn everything comes at a cost. What will it be?
She stares at you for a while, assessing you. Do not think so poorly of us. That is what I ask. She reaches into her bag. This only has one charge left on it, and I was saving it for if all of you could not achieve your goals, and the place was overrun. I am happy to continue to call Grove my home, and I wish this creature only the best. And she hands you a small, like, paperish rectangle. Do you know what this is?
Given the deck that you have sold cards from, I can presume. I know of the most powerful magic this world has to offer.
So you know what this card does?
We theorized somebody could cast Wish. We didn't know how, but now I've solved the riddle.
And if you squander it on anything else, I will eviscerate you.
Worry not. Azure will be back to his normal self, post-haste.
Audra and Arazid would overhear all of this, working kind of in the same area, by the way. Madame Lulu nods and turns away and gets back to what she was doing.
Chance is gonna put the card in his pocket. He's not gonna put that in his bag. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Chance gets a call on a cellular device.
It's cool being like, "What's up?" In person.
What's good?
Apparently Arazid isn't the only one that has a talking stone.
This talk rock buzzes. Mine should do that.
It full on goes bippity bippity beep.
I'm just imagining a magic stone just like vibrating off of a table.
I think there used to be like a phone, like a mobile flip phone called a Pebble.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's life imitates art.
Yeah, it was a Motorola Pebble, Pebl, because, of course.
Because technology is insufferable and I hate it.
I mean, that's the same kind of like spelling scheme as smole, so I don't know if we can like really throw stones.
I fucking hate smole.
I love small.
You know how many times I've been called a little cinnamon bun in my life?
But with
In
spice,
real
right?
life, in real life, like in whole with words.
Sorry, my mom called. Had to take that. Kinda can't.
Everything okay?
Oh yeah. Just a package is arriving earlier than she expected, but it's a gift for my little brother for Christmas, so she wanted me to be like, hey, keep an eye out, because he's currently gone to his hockey, and it's doesn't want him to see it, if possible, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If nobody else reacts, Chance will place the card in a pocket of his clothes before turning and returning towards the forest.
Yeah, would Arazid or Audra react at all?
Audra basically just dumps the rest of her berries in Arazid's hands and follows.
And Arazid, you've just learned that like one of your close NPC friends is currently not alive.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of dead-eyed staring, and then I'm just gonna give out the rest of the berries because I don't he said it was a gruesome sight. I don't think I can face that corpse in my current state.
Per. You
I
stay
know my
behind.
limits.
Yeah. So, Audra and
Audra.
Chance return to. It's not much of a clearing. The body is just kind of like pressed up against like a small gap between a couple of large trees.
If I touch Azur, is Azur cold to the touch?
Yes.
Audra closes her eyes and starts like petting Azur a little bit, as if Azur were still alive.
Did the dagger get removed from the head, by the way?
Yeah, Shane said that with telekinesis to try and see the note before stepping into the
Ah,
circle.
okay.
He would have.
I thought you would have just like grabbed the note away from the
Nah.
dagger. Okay.
Nah, I was assuming it was like driven through, so I figured like the dagger would come out and the note would be on there, and Chance would have taken the dagger with him as well if there's any magic within it or anything like that.
Okay. From what you can see on like an initial glance through all the rest, it seems to just be a regular dagger.
Mm.
Just kind of like one that an underling has passed over.
Mm. In that case, whenever like Chance looked over it, he would have just like tossed it aside, and just kept the note. With that, in returning, Chance kind of reaches within his bag and pulls out a scroll. How did we rule spell scrolls? Can anybody cast from them, or do they have to be of their class?
In my mind, it's always anyone.
Okay. Yeah, Chance will take out a scroll, and he will unfurl it. Well, it's probably better to use this than the card. The card can be useful in different situations. This only has one use, and with that, Chance begins to recite whatever words are on it.
You, before you do so, you have a memory of Madame Lulu specifically saying, if you don't use this card for this thing, she'll eviscerate you.
As he kind of like looks down over the scroll of true resurrection and winces a bit, he'll roll it back up, take out the card, and with its magic, let me double. I think you can only do 8th level or lower with Wish, can't you?
Let me just double check that. But I kind of love that like Chance didn't just go, yeah, I can take her.
I think Wish can do any. I think it can be the same level.
Wish is the highest. Can duplicate any other 8th level or lower.
We're still in the what is it?
It does also say that like the Wish spell as a whole has got a lot of DM leniency built into it.
Yeah, it does. So, would you allow a cast of True Resurrection? Because I don't want to potentially roll and never be able to cast Wish again.
Yeah, I would. In the sense that I would rule it as you use the Wish spell to kind of not specifically cast like this one spell, but you'd be more like entreating. Yeah, you're using it to commune with the weave in a way you never have before, and just being like, please.
Well,
So
Raised
with
Dead, I think
that-
we're still within the time frame for Raised Dead, which is less than anyways.
Yeah.
That's true.
Either way, with that, Chance will take the card. He'll look it over one last time with a bit of a, oh, I wanted to save this, but I don't really want to get into a fight with one of the Grove leaders, so guess I'm gonna have to. As he will then reach out with his magic through the card, grasping at the powerful magics within, as he'll look beyond the physical realms to the strands that make up the weave, and look towards Azure and the infinite possibilities with this magic, and he'll concentrate for a good few moments before picking out the one that Azura's returned alive, everything intact, fully healed, reaching out with that and plucking the strand to get the magic to do exactly as he wishes.
The card, as you look down on it, the paint, the art on it seems to peel away, and you can see incredibly dense threads crisscrossing all throughout this tiny piece of cardboard. And then they just seem to open up, and almost like a net fall over the form of Azure. This like golden thread sinks into the scales. Azure's body is kind of just a little on its side, so you can see through. Like the blood was quite dry by the time you approached, so the sheet isn't like soaked in blood. You just see like the hints of the wound underneath it, just knitting back together, and then suddenly there's this blinding golden light that just bursts out of the chest and out of the head as well, where the dagger was driven in, and then out of the throat and the eyes. And the light is almost blinding, and when it fades, Azure lifts his head and looks up at you, confused.
Welcome back. I'm sorry we sent you to what happened.
I was dead.
Yes. Very much so.
Is this heaven?
No, this is Grove. You're
Unfortunately, not.
It is heaven. On this planet. There's like a very wide reptilian smile that comes over, and the card that you are holding, Chance, seems to just vanish.
As it does it like disintegrate or just like vanish into thin air?
It kind of does that thing where it begins to disintegrate, and then as the bits fall, they vanish into thin air.
Chance kind of like unconsciously kind of has an open hand reaching towards it. Kind of giving a nod towards Azure.
You feel nothing but air, and you see no unusual fluctuations in the weave. Azure gets up and starts to like stretch out, examining himself. If there is one thing I wish, it's that I could forget the feeling of, those claws digging into me.
I did not expect Cool to be there. I'm sorry.
He was not there physically.
Well, either way, we succeeded. Grove is safe. The Ghost Lord is no more, nor is the Worm Lord that was with him. Both reduced to cinders.
It is done. We are free.
Grove
Of the
at
Ghost
least is
Lord,
free.
Cool still yet lives. He was not on the battlefield. Physically.
Of course. Coward.
He supposedly leads the march to Geras. We plan to meet him in battle there. Put an end to this. However, I assume Arazid will not allow her son to go down so easily.
No, she will not.
Well, for now, rest. When you're ready, you're in Grove, you're safe. You can come out.
Azure, like, stretches out like a cat. My thanks. And he kind of climbs a tree. And you can see him, like, just nestling in the leaves up top.
And Azure will hear in his head from Audra. If you need anything, just let me know.
The wounded have been, in many ways, tended to. So comes the next grim task of every post-battle. You hear the sounds of digging coming from outside the city walls, and you begin to see some peasants kind of collecting corpses and just walking back out of the city. There's also a large amount of crying over individuals. Some more than others, since a fair amount of those that passed away were strangers to this place. But everyone seems to have someone to mourn them.
Chance is gonna look towards Audra. Are you still able to reincarnate today, or?
Not today, but that spell is, you know, it can be used for a while. Who would we be? Reincarnation is a strange spell. Sometimes I like to see if the person would be alright with a different form.
I'm not sure if Henna would be, but I'm sure Lucy would be more than happy that Henna still lives.
Horena.
No, Henna.
Well, I do need to sleep for a while before I can do that. But I
Yes.
can do that.
Well, I can have the body brought to somewhere safe. Perhaps the circle?
Yes,
Or the
and maybe
druid
speak to Olbert. He might be able to still do that today. But if
Chance.
not, I will sleep and see.
Chance will nod and then head towards the dead and look for Lucy, because I presume Lucy would be with.
Yeah, Lucy is just whimpering like, oh, oh, oh.
Chance will come over towards Lucy.
As you approach, Lucy just immediately gets quite defensive towards you, is just kind of like looking straight at you, barking, wagging a tail in a way that is saying, back away.
Once this starts, Chance is going to kneel down and kind of like raise a hand. Like raise his hands up to show that he's not doing anything. And just kind of like kneel there. I can help. But she won't be back in the way that you remember.
Roll an animal handling check, please.
Animal handling. 21.
Ooh. Lucy evaluates you for a while and then also sits down. Doesn't move closer towards you, but the body language is a lot more open.
Chance is gonna walk, like, kind of get up from his, like, kneeling position, walk towards, reaching into his bag and pull out the, Where is it? I saw it earlier. I just have a regular healing potion. And he's gonna, like, uncork it and try and help Lucy drink it, because Lucy looked quite injured before.
She's got a couple of, like, slashes on her, but it seems that no one's been able to get close enough to help her.
So I'm gonna try and help Lucy drink the healing potion, because he doesn't... Actually, no. Is there, like, a stone nearby?
Yeah, there's a few.
Chance will just, like, grab up, like, a few stones in his hand and cast stone shape. And make a bowl.
Nice.
And set it in front of Lucy and kind of pour in the healing potion.
Lucy eyes the bowl suspiciously. Just gives it a sniff. It's not quite what she was expecting to smell. And then just, like, takes one, just, like, tentative lick. And then goes back in for more and more and more, and then most of the potion is lapped up. A fair amount also gets spilled on the grass. That grass is probably going to feel a bit happier. But Lucy also seems to have a bit more health in her now. Do you want to roll a the HP gain?
It's D4 plus 4, right?
Yeah, 2d4, 4d4
2d4.
plus 4. It would be if it's just
Just a straight healing potion?
Yeah, it's not like a lesser, is it?
Okay, yeah. It just says healing potion, so I'm assuming it's that. So 16. That's a pretty good healing potion.
Oh, potion of just the regular potion of healing is 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
So I'll just take the first 2 dice
2.
and subtract 2.
Yeah. So 6, 7, 8.
Okay. 8's still pretty good.
Yeah, for 2d4, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Couple of like Lucy's going to sport some new interesting scars, but the wounds seem to knit back together. And she just looks down at Helena, and you can see that Lucy is, like, looking at, like, the last dregs of potion in the bowl, and then down at Helena, and Lucy kind of, like, you see that she looks like she's going in to drink more. She laps some up with her tongue, but then she looks over to she walks over towards Helena and just, like, licks her face, and, like, potion of healing is just, like, smeared all over Helena's face. And Lucy just sits there and watches and waits for something to happen.
Chance will reach over and kind of, like, try and place a hand on, like, Lucy's head, like, behind the ears, and try and, like, a comforting kind of, like, pet of, that's not gonna work, unfortunately, but let's see if we can find somebody who can. And Chance is going to, like, very carefully and respectfully kind of place his arms, like, under the shoulders and, like, knees to support as he picks up the body.
Okay. Lucy makes, like, moving very difficult. Like, the second you pick up Helena, Lucy is, like, stuck to your leg and is doing that thing that, like excited dogs do, where they just walk in front of you and, like, around you. And they're not trying to trip you up, but it's a struggle to not be tripped up.
I mean, Chance understands and starts heading towards the grove, taking as much time as needed.
Okay. You go to the Grove's Grove.
Yes. Is good old Bort just vibing?
Yeah, he seems to be kind of, like, unpacking a medicine pouch in the center. He seems to have only recently gotten back himself. There's, like, blood kind of coating his little hoof hands. He seems to have been working in the tents as well, helping to save peeps.
sorry to bother you. I'm sure you need some rest. However, Audra mentioned that you may have a spell prepared to bring the dead back. Even the ability to reincarnate. It's been too long for Revivify to bring her back, but...
I do indeed, but I'm afraid I've already used my preparation for it for today.
No worries. Is there a place where I can set her for the night then? And I believe Audra said that she'll get it ready for the morning.
You can place her amongst the flowers over there, or on one of the stone benches, yeah.
Chance looks towards Lucy and kind of motions with his head towards, Old Board, and then kind of towards, the bench or the flowers, trying to see, what Lucy would prefer.
Lucy seems to prefer the idea of flowers.
Alright, we're going over to the flowers.
The second that you put Helena down, Lucy kind of, just climbs, kind of slightly over Helena. Just ends up, she ends up laying over her master, just, her head on Helena's chest, just trying to keep her a bit warm, staring up at the face with, big, sad eyes.
Chance is going to pick up some more stones to make another bowl.
Cool.
With stone shape again, and then we'll grab enough for 2 bowls, and then we'll set them down beside, filling one with water and putting some, dried meats and everything in the other.
Lucy seems unwilling to move.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, Chance will set these, right
Okay.
by Lucy.
Yeah.
With that, he's going to sit down, kind of, lean back in the flowers, stare up, and with a soft sigh. I guess I'm probably not gonna be able to leave. I did promise we'd bring her back. I guess I'll have to stay here till we can keep that promise.
Flower beds are soft indeed, my friend. You can stay here as long as you need.
And Chance is just, as Chance lays down, a little raven will pop up on his chest as used to get the familiar out.
Caw?
I believe ravens have mimicry, right?
Yeah, they can mimic.
Perfect.
They can. Ravens are also dicks sometimes, so maybe is pretending to not, or is mimicrying you guys doing core to mimic you.
Hey, can you, look. Please find Audra and tell her I am in the grove.
Find Audra!
Chance will nod.
The raven begins to fly away. What is Audra doing at the moment? Arazid would have finished handing out all the good berries by now. The sun's also beginning to set.
I was gonna also go help people, bury people.
Okay.
I think Audra would just, I don't know if you need a medicine check for it or something, but she would just stabilize as many people as she can, to make sure they don't bleed out in the night, bandage them up, and then go to sleep, because she knows she needs to rest to get more magic back to help people in the morning.
Cool. You don't have Spare the Dying, I presume?
No, but Spare the Dying only counts if people are unconscious anyways, so...
To stabilize, it would be a medicine check with a DC of
Yep.
10, I believe.
I basically just have to roll higher than a 3. Oh, I'm gonna use my last. If it's possible, I'll use my last wild shape and go into my dragon form, and then it's impossible for me to fail.
I'll just give that to you then.
Okay, like mechanically, I can't roll less than a 10 on a wisdom check if I'm in that form. So yeah.
Cool. So this remind me what your dragon form looks like. I'm kind of just imagining the shape of a dragon in stars.
Yeah, it's one of my 3-star forms. Yeah, it's very much like basically she has like ethereal like constellation starry dragon wings. And then kind of over the rest of her body, kind of like there's just kind of like an actual constellation. There's just kind of like random stars everywhere, and if you squint, you can kind of see the shape of a dragon like from the front.
This is like, as you stand over these people that are unconscious in need of stabilizing, to them you must look like this world's version of like a biblical angel going like, "Do not be afraid."
Like 1,000 eyes for sure.
Yeah. And then you bless them with your unlimitless medicinal potential, and their wounds they feel a lot better and more stable, and they look at you with horror as you just like flip between the beds.
Honestly, this is fine.
And then on the last one, a raven flies into your tent, kind of rests itself on the head of the person you're currently working on.
Oh, hi.
And it just opens its mouth and is like, "Ah! I am in the grove."
Yeah, you're in the...
But it sounds like exactly like Chance's voice.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Could you hop up onto my arm instead of this person's face?
It does a little bunny hop onto your arm.
Okay, we're gonna go. You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
The commoner is just kind of like blearily looking around, like reaches up to touch his head, finds a feather.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, you weren't wounded in the head. Just don't touch the bandages. Just leave them.
Okay.
Are you okay? Do you need good berry before I go, or?
I don't know.
I tuck them in.
All right.
And then I will let this bird kind of like lead me there.
Cool.
But yeah.
So you'd head to the grove as well. Arazid is helping to bury the bodies. Solas is becoming the world's #1 author in whatever the hell he's doing, and Providence.
Yeah, still in the room, just gonna vibe in. She's currently on Mechis watch, because if Mechis pops out of that bag, Grove is fucked.
There's a lot of wood and a lot of trees.
Exactly. Pokemon battles are not authorized within the town limits.
No fire types. Everything else is okay.
Okay, so you're are you intending on like staying up on watch all night, just yourself?
As long as I can.
And
then long rest. It's pretty much occasional telepathy, just don't do anything to Solas, don't burn down Grove. To be honest, the second one is optional as far as I'm concerned. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people believe that if a fire were to like break out in their room, they'd wake up pretty quickly. And as you settle down for a long rest, I'd like to believe that you believe that too.
Smoke inhalation is what gets you. You'll be dead before you know that you exist.
Only you can prevent city fires.
Honestly, I feel like this is the one place in this entire like world where forest fires would actually be like a relevant phrase.
Yeah. Alright, so as everyone's kind of settling down to a long rest, we'll just nip back over to the grove quickly as Audra gets the raven to follow her back to Chance.
Hi.
Chance just kind of like looks up from this field of flowers and just waves.
I mean, Audra obviously immediately going to join you. Kind of does that thing with her arm where she like, encourages the bird to fly off.
Yeah, after Chance waves, he just kind of like holds his hand up for the raven to hop on.
Crap! I am in the grove!
Thanks, Zuku. I don't know if this is... Look, would you prefer to be here or back in that weird interdimensional space where you're not really alive or dead?
In answering, the raven will hop off of your hand and begin pecking for worms on the dirt.
He'll then give like a thumbs up, and then like the arm will kind of like come back down.
I don't think that familiars technically need to eat, but in this case I don't think it stops him.
They don't need to, but they can do it for enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gem
Audra will
rolls.
sit right next to you, like shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, by the way, Zuku, if you touch the body that's like right over there at all, I am going to boil you alive.
You could just dismiss him.
Yeah, but he wants to peck for worms. He
Worms?
touches the body.
Worms?
Worms are fine. This is the natural
Either-
order thing.
Either me or Lucy is going to have some very bad reactions.
Just worms.
Just worms.
He kind of just
That
like
was-
hops around the garden.
That was an experience and a half.
It was, I expected it to be very scary, and it was very scary, so in that way it met my expectations.
I don't even want to know what Sim's been up to in Jurass getting ready and what they're doing, because it just sounds trying to defend one city and then going to another one to defend, but this time we don't get the pleasure of doing the preparations. We barely survived this one with doing our preparations. What the hell are they doing?
To be fair, I think the six of us were pretty tough, and I think we would have been okay, but I was worried about, I was just standing there, and you all were fighting the Ghost Lord, and then the Orc General, and I was just thinking, if these ghosts get up to the peasants, they're all gonna die.
Understandable, and I mean, it seemed like Madame Lulu had a plan. I trust that plan would have been good, because, to be completely honest, there was a small chance of me just grabbing as many of us as I could and teleporting us away.
I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad Grove is, at least for now, in one piece, because I really don't want to think about what this world would be like without it.
Yeah. There really is no other place quite like it. But for now, we can rest, get ready for the morrow and dealing with whatever Jaras has in store.
Yes. We'll be leaving sometime tomorrow, or can we stay? Maybe. How long does the island take us to get places again?
I think the island has to go, but that doesn't mean we have to be on it. I can always teleport us the next day, but I just need to make sure we're there at least a few out, like at least a day before the invasion occurs, because I need to make sure I can rest and regain that ability to cast spells at that power, because I don't really want to be fighting at a slight disadvantage.
I just want to be able to stay and help as many people as I can until we have to go. Speaking of, I only have one diamond in my on my person that can help your friend. So we might want to see if we can find any more in case this happens.
That's a good
again.
idea. I mean, worst case, we can ask people to, hey, do you got any diamond jewelry? I will buy it from you. Take the diamond. We can melt down the gold. Do whatever we do with it, or sell it back, or give it away. Whatever. We just need diamonds, and I can buy them because I still have an insane amount of gold.
Isn't it kind of funny that people just wear spell components that can't even cast spells?
Yeah, it honestly shocks me. I mean, I also have some gems still on me, but I don't think any of the diamonds I have are ones that we want to be using for spell components. Because I have one similar to the one that I gave you that's worth like worth like 3,500 Southern Delorian gold. Should probably hold on to that one.
You know, we could break that one up into pieces.
That's not that worst of ideas, because I don't have it inscribed with anything. Because I have 2 other diamonds that I have inscribed with things that I need for spell casting.
Yeah, I just realized that the diamond that I have that I was going to that it is engraved with a picture of a dragon. So
Yeah, but I mean, we could also shave around the dragon and start making some diamond dust with these diamonds that are worth that, or we can give them back to the Onolembi's people. Hey, sorry I was an asshole and broke into your bank and cleaned it out.
I don't know. I kind of think banks are maybe evil, so I don't know if it was that wrong. Because they just hoard wealth while people starve in the streets.
I mean, Onolembo seems pretty well off. And it was more me being an asshole and taking the opportunity of the city's on fire. What's the best course of action? Helping people? No, go rob a bank.
And really, while the city was on fire?
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I think that was the time when somebody stabbed Asuka too.
Set it on fire, right? Like the fire wasn't
No.
Okay.
We placed the orbs in like these 2 places where they kind of looked like they went, destroyed all the crystals that powered the city. That somehow led to it being on fire, and I used that opportunity to go rob a bank while everybody else was trying to save people. And I think Asuka ended up being stabbed.
Fault, but it wasn't like arson.
No. I think it inadvertently was the fault of the Hexad, but I don't think any of us intentionally started a fire. I think it might have been one of those weird fights between the Rise and the Fall. I kind of like split up with the party, trying to use this opportunity of confusion of us accidentally destroying their way of life to go rob the bank, and by the time that I got back, the others apparently already had gotten there and it was on fire, so...
You know, I did think I did. It is on Onolembo that I donated all that marble to, right, Ren?
Yeah.
I mean, on balance, I did donate like 10 tons of marble to Public Works last time we were there.
Everything balances out in the end, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm no longer hoarding this wealth. It's being used for us and our good
we're using it to
deeds.
help people. And it would be nice if we had, because I've been really saving my ability to heal people in case you or Arazid or someone else that I know falls, and maybe that's wrong when other people are dying too. So it would be nice to be able to help more people. You know?
I mean, this is gonna sound really bad, but so long as none of us stay dead, then we're fine, because we can fix the world and then bring people back. Cause give it like, I don't know.
I mean, we could bring them back, but also Arazid is like putting them in the ground right now, which seems like kind of weird because we typically like burn our dead, but like whatever works for him.
Really? I
mean,
presumed
they biodegrade better.
I presumed you just shoved the bodies in the earth because that's, you feed the earth back, the bodies will become...
I mean, trees will eat, like, bones and things like that, which is really interesting, but flesh actually doesn't do that well underground. There's not, like, that much to, like, not, like, carrion to have the flesh.
I've always heard that, like, the worms eat it. Is that not true?
I mean, worms will eat, like, bones, too, but... it's mostly what happens. The flesh will just rot and eventually be absorbed by the soil.
Hi, someone who studied entomology in college. A lot of time it doesn't do well underground for that long because of a lot of the deep composition work actually is not done by worms. It's done by like beetles and the big fucking bees that eat things.
Yeah, so like the flesh does better above ground, but underground like trees will eat bones and shit. But yeah.
Good. Calcium.
Calcium, exactly.
It's one of the reasons why in a lot of cultures where they have like a lot harder soil, they'll like leave their dead in like an area that's accessible to the air for like a year.
Yeah,
so
sky
like,
burials.
Can have at it and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Like how the Onelembes bury their dead.
Typically we burn them and then we bury the bones. I'm
So-
sure someone is supervising.
Here's an intrusive thought. When you're burning them, there is a time when that meat is perfectly cooked.
Yeah, you burn them and then you leave them out for a little bit.
Arazid's rubbing off on you.
Typically wolves will come and just like, go at it and then...
Oh, perfect. So Grove's tradition is to cook the dead for the wolves and bury the bones.
Yeah, and then, you try to do it in kind of like a mass area, and then in a couple of years you can plant an orchard right there, and the trees love it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it takes a while for like the root system to really get good, but yeah.
As Arazid helps out with the what he thought was a burial, it seems that they are more chopping down some trees to make some really big pyres. And
it's like a big barbecue pit.
Yeah, and they're digging holes for the bones for afterwards.
So would Arazid know that that's what they're doing?
No.
Because given his past, he sees people cooking bodies. He's having a different mind. His mindset's different. He's like, oh,
he's
we're
bringing
in that kind of
bringing the
war. We're in-
barbecue
okay.
sauce and a napkin.
He's like, oh, we're in that kind of war. Gotcha.
I mean, yeah.
Like, should I roll insight for this? Like, what's going on?
I think it depends on how, whether Arazid would be mindful enough to think to himself to second guess his initial judgment.
Well, people are crying around him, so I think he might be like, "Wait a minute,
Wait a minute, we're not cooked.
maybe
yet.
we're not about to have like a whole thing."
Like a bake off.
We're not having
Maybe
like
this
this
isn't
fucking
the
luau.
Great Rovian Bake Off. There's like 12 bodies lined up, and someone's like, they should all look exactly the same.
Yeah, you can roll insight or you could roll history, because maybe Audra has mentioned something about this practice in the past.
My insight's way better, but history
might have
would be
come out
funny
that
if I
that's
failed.
It would be. I know, kind of want to see that. Oh yeah, no, you do remember that Audra has like mentioned something about
Grove burning their dead.
yeah, and you kind of like this memory comes back to you because now you remember at the time you're like, that must smell amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, the only time I've ever eaten a body, it was like decomposing and raw, and now they're just cooking it up, and I don't. But no, these are people that people care about. It's fine. I'm not.
Well, here's the thing. They're making multiple mounds, and a few of them are being piled up with all the bones of with all the bodies of the goblins and orcs that died. It depends if you'd be curious about what their meat tastes like.
I'm considering it. I'm not considering it. He's considering it. I need to distance myself from this. He's considering it. And he just kind of looks around and he's like, makes a mental note to come back either in the middle of the night or very early in the morning. And he just continues to dig his little boat holes.
Oh, before we go to bed, or go to sleep, I guess the flower bed is kind of the bed. And Chance is just gonna start pulling out the very bad juju magic items, and start identifying them. We got the staff, the sword, and the sort of cool dagger thing. Because I think there was the Emerald Heart, I think it was. Because there's 2 things from the Ghost Lord, and then 1 thing from the Sword of Cool. 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, there was the staff that you got, and like the emerald's like brain that fell out of him. And the this like short sword of Cool as well.
So yeah, Chance just like, oh wait, I got evil stuff I need to identify. Give me 1 second. And just starts identifying
Cool.
some evil stuff.
Got enough slots?
Ritual.
Oh yeah, cool. The emerald shards are just like non-magical emerald. You do get the sense that there used to be something magical about them.
But that's long since left.
Yeah, in the same way that like the ghosts all disappeared when the Ghost Lord's presence as a whole was vanquished. Yeah. The staff of the Ghost Lord, you are able to identify.
Archmage, magical, magic quarterstaff, +3, deals necrotic, gain bonus to expertise in Arcana, invoke curse.
That's the one that you do not look upon happily.
Yeah.
This fucking thing.
Staff has 7 charges, 1d4 +3. You can use it.
There's a 50% chance to get possessed.
Yeah. Lifeless Warriors of a Dead Archmage. Rune carved in the skull protects 0 to vengeance. Other than spends, there's a 50-50 that'll just possess them. The Wielder must succeed a DC 20 Charisma Nice.
Yep.
Becoming an NPC and where's his?
And of course, we don't have a cleric paladin. Don't worry.
If the intruding life force is targeted by magic, just a spell good and evil becomes trapped in the staff once more. It seems fair that the dark needs to destroy. Use the staff. Okay, so basically,
I'm getting like kind of like a bad vibe from that stuff.
no. It's look. You can use it as just a staff to really bonk people with. It gives you some really good abilities to, you know, be able to discern magic and recall history. But if you try to use it to curse people, there's like a good chance that you could just be possessed by some batshit insane wizard that's trapped in here. Overall, it's less evil than I thought it was going to be. It honestly seems like this wizard just wants the thing to be destroyed.
Oh, okay.
And then we have another sort of cool. This thing looks like the previous sort of cool. I wonder if it does the same thing.
It does many of the same things. For example, if the sword isn't bathed in blood within 1 minute of being drawn, it does the same ouchies on people.
Oh, now I need to get a new... So, it's a short sword, you said, right?
Yep.
Because I thought it was a dagger, so I tried to sheath it in a dagger thing. So, the sheath technically would have been destroyed, so this thing's just kind of raw dogging it.
Yep. It kind of looks like a dagger to you because it's more like a short sword designed for like a shorter race. So it would be between the two. So I could say that like a dagger sheath would have it with like a couple of inches sticking out.
But that'd be considered sheathed. For the purposes of that, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, so, it would be sheathed in a dagger sheath.
And also it has drawn blood since it was unsheathed, so...
Yeah, well, we're putting that in a sheath and we're throwing it in the volcano, so... So this little short sword of cool is much like the last one, so it's much like the last one is going to join its brother in the volcano.
How many swords does this man have?
Well, so far we've seen a long sword equivalent, and this is a short sword equivalent.
There's the
Like a
complete
dagger,
sheet for you.
Scimitar, like a spear.
So it could be that Cool has a weapon of every type, or each of his worm lords has a different weapon of Cool.
That's a lot of magic weapon crafting. That's a lot of time dedicated to magic weapon crafting for just really bad weapons.
Does it have the same downsides as well? Of if you're away from it, it's going to blind you and it's going to eat away at your psyche?
It doesn't appear to, no.
You know what? This one's a bit less spooky. This one's not going to drive someone insane. Looking it over again, you know?
I bet there's definitely like a vibe from Solas right now going like, you fucking kidding me?
From like across the city of like, oh. So this one just seems to want to be soaked in blood. It just really wants blood. And it's not going to...
You also notice that unlike the last one, this isn't sentient.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I mean, Chance was like very spooked at doing that, so as soon as like he kind of realizes that it's safe to touch, he kind of like grabs the hilt and holds it in the sheath. Yeah, this one's not trying to convince me to commit evil atrocities.
It'd just be super jazzed if you did.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
not
think this one
sentient?
needs to join its brother in the volcano. We can just kind of be okay. Hey, let's not draw this thing unless we're going to stab something that can bleed.
I'm gonna try to communicate telepathically with the sword to see if it is as like that as the last one.
Yeah, there's no brain behind this sword.
Okay, great. This one is not sentient, so I'm really happy.
Okay. Look, we kind of stole Solas' sword the last time, and then I threw it in a volcano.
You know,
How
he's
about we
actually,
gift
like,
this
really
one to
upset right now.
Solas?
Yeah, and he's really upset right now. I tried to comfort him earlier, and he physically disappeared.
That's not really like him.
He's been really withdrawn lately, even at the wedding. I don't know if you noticed.
Because normally it's more of, you know, he will just sit there. You can talk to him, but
No,
he'll
it was...
just ignore you.
I mean, even that's not, like, great. You know that, right?
It's not?
I mean, even though he's not actively harming anybody else, it's like, you know, withdrawing and isolating yourself. You know, humans are social animals. It's not really good for you.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, Lark.
Sorry.
Spent
Oh,
much of my
honey.
childhood in a similar state because I was extremely not doing well. So
I mean, like up until like when I joined this party, that was me.
I know. And you're so much better now.
I mean, I'm not a greedy evil bastard anymore. Now I'm just kind of like, hey, I have the people I care about. Everybody else, I don't really care about. We're getting there.
It's normal to care about some people more than other people. And I'm really proud of you. But I mean, you know, just think back to those times that you were, you know, very sad and all alone and didn't connect with anybody. You know, it was not as good as it is now, right?
I'm not in as much physical pain now as then.
See?
You know, the beatings for my father, and then being thrown in a tent by myself for like
Hug.
weeks on end.
Hugging. So much aggressive hugging.
Wait, this isn't a normal thing that parents do?
No, my love, no, it's not normal. It's also not normal to have your parents, I guess, give you up to be raised by someone extremely powerful. But, you know, I had a lot of magic that, you know, Marie didn't understand, and she was all by herself, and, you know, we're not talking about me right now, we're talking about you.
No, this is good. We can, and then like Chain's just gonna like wrap his arms around Audra as well. Perfect.
Lovely. And since the pair of you have to stay there for the evening, do we want to have a long rest?
Yes.
I'm camping outside. I'm not going back to the manse.
Yeah, you're just
Partly because
parking
I wanna-
around all of the bodies for totally normal reasons.
Well, partly because I just want to make sure that if there's any stragglers, I see them first, and I can sound my silent alarm, and then we can, you know, we can rally the troops. But also other reasons.
Okay, do.
So
with that,
long rest.
yeah, we will
Long
all
rest.
gain the benefits of a lovely long rest, and we will ourselves, in person, have a short rest.
Back at the hour?
Yeah, back at the hour sounds good. You have a lovely long rest, and you wake up in your various areas. On the 18th day of the invasion, Lavion the 19th.
Chance kind of like sits up, stretching.
octopus cling. Is it morning?
It is, and Chance just kind of like stands up, scooping Audra up in like a bridal carry, walking towards like wherever the nearest washroom is to like start freshening up.
Audra allows this to happen.
There's like a couple of kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Artificial waterfalls that have been constructed in the Druid's Grove.
Yeah, just starts going over there.
Right, Providence, Solas.
Mine's dependent on Solas, so.
I mean, he's just staying where he is for the time being.
Yeah, I'm on Mekis watching duty.
Okay. That's a really interesting bag. But now you've started to memorize like every stitch, every blemish of the leather. There's this like weird crease where like a book has been shoved into it for a really long time, so it's kind of just bent the leather a bit. What you don't see is any sign of Mekis.
Do I still have the feeling that there's that presence there?
Yes.
I guess I'll try and reach out telepathically. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? I have another thing inhabiting my body. I've already got a couple of souls and God knows what else.
Gee, you could spare one of those to Solas.
Haha!
And that
I
is
could.
the 7th time I've made that joke this year.
Not bad. Do you, like, want anything, Megas? I'm happy to sit here, quite frankly. I need the quiet, but...
You do get something back. You get this warm sense of fear and safety.
In the bag?
From something in the bag.
She's not gonna go through Solas' bag thing. You're gonna have to give me more to work with there. I'm sorry. I get the intent, but I'm not going through your son's bag. That's just rude.
You get this sense as you try and commune that you're speaking to like a rabid primordial animal. Something whose brain is like so undeveloped that it's like not able to communicate in any way other than like raw emotion and like base feelings. If it's hungry, it's not going to spend ages umming and ahhing between like pizza or Chinese. It's just going to eat whatever it could.
Do I get the impression this isn't Mechas? Or this is Mechas, and because of the spores, this is like a fragment?
Roll an insight.
Oh boy. Don't know that. Insight.
Them vibe checks in it.
Damn.
Well, damn Providence got insight. You get the sense that this is the completeness of Mechas, but the spores in her old form were so pervasive that her brain has been like quite thoroughly ruined. It's been brought back to a very primitive state, a primordial state, if you will. And will take a bit of time to heal.
Given that I very much know how the spores work, and given that check, am I able to not force and speed up the process, but like help the process along?
Yeah, give me a charisma check, please. Just like your raw charisma.
Would this, or would the aura, the spore aura, no thingamajiggy, no, it's a saving throw, no.
The spora.
The spora.
Isn't that where Americans get their makeup from?
Sephora, but yes.
Not as charismatic anymore.
Yeah, you haven't even brushed your teeth yet. There's not much to be charismatic about right now.
That fair.
You sense an exhaustion in your spores. And they're having a hard time connecting, especially since it's you're not really sure of like the origin of like where this is coming from, or like to what extent they are or are not infected.
Should have spent some time then keeping conversation, as well as much of a conversation as you can get.
When you tried your best, but you don't succeed.
Story.
Okay. Arazid has had a evening outside the wall with little events, which we'll talk about in private. So we go back to the grove.
As get to like the waterfall, Chance would just set Audra down before kneeling like at the water's edge, splashing water in his face.
Audra will do the same thing, but like much less coordinated. I'm prepared to reincarnate today. I also have dream prepared if it's important that we contact Sim today. It would have to be later, of course.
Yeah, potentially. See what's going on over there, or even Morgan. For now, we should focus on that and then get things sorted and everything.
Yeah. Weird how time just moves on after something like that, and it's like it never even happened.
Unfortunately, we don't really have the pleasure of time to kind of process what's happened, go through everything, and be ready. I mean, we could always return the other sun if we have everything we need. But I think the defense of Jerash should come first, so that way then we can get as many people as possible to high locations if we believe that there is going to be a massive flood.
Agreed. I mean, what's the point of saving the world if there's no one left to live in it?
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna resurrect your friend over there first. So that's gonna be the start of our day. So
you're going to reincarnate the friend.
Yes. Chance, you said you have diamonds.
Yeah. Well. Is there a way for us to turn a 500 Onalembis gold piece diamond into dust currently, and then start sprinkling and divvying it out into like small pouches of 100 Southern Delorian gold each.
Yeah, you got a couple of rocks, ain't you?
Well, let's start, getting some diamond dust and divvying it up into little penny bags.
I need a chunk that's about tries to make the size with our hands, and then just like 500 gold pieces, Southern Dollar, for the spell.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grind up the entire thing and then kind of start divvying it up into like little bags of like rough worth and everything. It might take just a minute or two, and then Chance is just gonna start going at it.
With your hands?
Do you have any like is there like little fabric bags that could hold diamond dust in the grove? I'd need like 30 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the market and grab you some bags.
Alright, and I'll start trying to crush this diamond. And Chance will grab some whatever equipment he can scrounge up and start trying to turn this diamond into dust.
Cool. Yeah, that's totally possible. With a few minutes of time. And do you have all the material components for reincarnates?
Oh yeah, I need a bunch of oils and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they might have some at the grove, but I know if they have enough.
I mean, yeah, you'd have probably learnt that Old Bort reincarnated a villager the day before and turned him into an elf, which was fun for him. So yeah, you could ask him if there's like any amount of like spare ones kicking around.
I guess that's what I would do before I would leave. I would go to his room and see if he's awake, and if he's not awake, gently wake him up. Albert. Knock, 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 knock.
He'll answer the door, kind of blearily looking at you. What?
I know it's the morning, but do you have the components for like reincarnation? Like I might be able to cast it like 1 or 2 or more times today. So I thought.
There's yeah, they're in the storage shed.
Can you just give me like the key? I mean, I can break in, but I just thought maybe I should get the key.
He shuts the door. You can hear him like rustling around, and then he comes out with the key.
Okay. Thank you. You can go back to sleep now. Sorry. I know. The sun is evil. Okay. Gonna go to the shed and raid it.
Cool.
Also,
Inside.
see if they have any storage containers for, like Chance was requesting.
Yeah, inside you find lots of like little bottles of like oils and unguents and the like, and lots of other bottles as well. Many of which are empty.
I do the thing where you like use your skirt as like a.
Oh yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
bag, like having like empty bottles for Chance for the diamond dust, and also like the oils and unguents and stuff, just like as much as Audra feels she can physically carry without dumping everything on the ground. And then just gonna waddle back over to where Chance is hanging out, see how he's doing.
Alright. And she waddled away.
Just wide stance so that skirt bag works.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So I've also been working on like a more setting appropriate reincarnate table. And I just
You have?
well, as in the last half an hour I have, yes.
Yay! I want to be the one. My only request is that I get to be the one to roll on it. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course, you're the one casting the spell. I just want to hear your thoughts on this versus the raw one, in case you have any objections.
Okay. Let me just look at the raw one. I feel like this is pretty good. The chances of being something crazy aren't super high, but there's still some interest here. I'm good with it.
Okie dokie. So, pouch is gotten.
Start laying out, the little empty bottles. This is for you.
Lucy has this sense and starts like standing up and by the way, she hasn't touched like her food or water from yesterday. She's just been like lying over Herena's body.
I'm gonna use my ring of, I don't think it's ring of speak with animals, but my ring that lets me do stuff with animals. I can use a speak with animals charge. Hi, Lucy. Don't worry, I'm just getting things set up right now, and she's gonna wake up in just a little bit, okay?
Oh. Okay. And how would you begin casting this spell? It's got all the components. You got your oils, you got your unguents.
My unguents.
I know, it's fun to mispronounce.
A lot of it's just kind of like
onions.
like in a general circle in the in the general vicinity of the corpse. Like the incense is like the finicky part where it's like in a weird pattern, kind of lit in a specific order. And then both hands go up to the sky. Audra closes her eyes, starts chanting in like really rapid druidic. And a bolt of lightning comes down, strikes the corpse. And suddenly it's like they're in the prime of their life. They're in prime health. In this new form.
Roll that table. Drum roll, please.
97 was
A turtle!
Hell yeah!
a strike of lightning, boom, on the corpse, and then there's just a turtle in perfect health, laying there.
And she's currently lying on her back.
Oh, let me just help you turn over. Hi, I'm Audra. We didn't really get to meet before.
Yeah, like Herena just kind of like jolts, eyes open, begins like waggling, trying to get up, is a bit stranded.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn and there you go.
And this is when she sees her form for the first time and is just like stunned.
Chance is just standing there, kind of like rubbing his chin. Huh. Didn't expect that one out of everything that I have seen.
Yeah, there's a small chance that. Anyways, hi, Herena. Hi. This is your body now. Sorry if you're not happy with it. We kind of this is kind of how the spell works.
If you want anybody to blame about this, you can blame me. Because I thought you would prefer to stay with Lucy, and Lucy seemed to not leave you.
At the mention of Lucy, Herena scuttles around to look for Lucy, and like Lucy's standing there kind of giving the suspicious side eye to this new form of Herena's. And Lucy and Herena just kind of like reach out, snout in hand, and then Lucy just gets like a whiff. And then suddenly her whole demeanor changes. She's like leaping right at this turtle, like licking, barking happily. It feels weird, I will admit. But I didn't want to leave Lucy an orphan. Thank you. Oh, this form will take some getting used to.
Yeah. I imagine so, but, you know, I take different forms all the time, and sometimes it just takes, a couple of minutes. You move around, you get a feel for it.
You've been doing that all your life, I imagine.
No, only since I was, 15 or so. It takes a while.
I think I need to be alone. With
no problem.
my dear Lucy, of course.
Yeah. I gave Lucy some food and water, and Chance is gonna pull out another ration and leave leave some kind of food and water for Harena. You're welcome to stay in this flower field as long as you need. It's a druid grove, so there might be some druids coming and going. I'll take all the time you need.
And if you really need anything, Olbert can help you. You might want to wait at least 30 more minutes for him to just wake up a little bit more. But I'm sure he'll help you if you really need anything. And his door is down that corridor. Take 2 lefts.
Alright, so... And with that, Chance is just gonna turn and kind of give Lucy one last, thumbs up. Before heading out.
That feels really good. That feels really good. That's a good way to start the day. We should start every day like that.
We should start every day like that.
We should start every day resurrecting an old friend.
Just feels good, And should we get a dog? How do you feel about dogs? I mean, I've been a dog occasionally, but that's when it's me.
And a cat. Claudia.
I don't want to think about pets right now.
That's fair. That's fair. We should find Solas and Arazid and Providence and
Yeah, and Chance is gonna kind of wave towards his shoulder, and I'm assuming Zuko the Raven would just appear, or come flying in after pecking at the earth for the night. Hopefully, if not, he's going back in the pocket dimension.
No! No, put me back in the box!
How many worms did you have, my friend? A lot? Are you full?
I had. He kind of branches out all his feathers. He appears to have about 11 main feathers on each wing. He looks at both of his feathers. I had 2 wings.
Bird is a glutton.
Chance kind of shakes his head as he continues with this bird now on his shoulder once more.
Does Zuko count as a pet? Or
Do
not?
you count a familiar as a pet?
I count it as a pet because you love them and you take care of them, and they kind of take care of you back.
You've been upgraded from errand boy to pet. Congratulations.
Cool!
That means you have to be a good boy, though.
He does a birdie salute.
Should we head to the manse, see what everybody's up to?
Yeah, I assumed we were already kind of walking that way.
Alright. Manse time.
I assume Arazid would have returned to the manse as well?
Yeah, I hope I spend some time in the wee hours in the mornings just prepping holes, and then I just as like a okay, here's a present for you guys. Sorry that you died, and then I skedaddle back to the man.
Sorry you died. Here's a present.
Here's a hole. Here's a hole for your bones.
Meanwhile, Audra's like, sorry you died, here's a new body. People need to stop dying.
And I believe that's the first time that all of you would be back in the manse together.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the manse? There is the manse. You first just delete this huge gaggle of people that shouldn't technically be there. Oh, I suppose you five can stay. You are meant to be there. You're not even alive anymore. So I assume Providence in Providence's room? Solas in Solas's room? Or thereabouts? And the three of you will return.
You return? I'm guessing we all show up at about the same time?
I'm gonna roll that because it's easier roleplay-wise.
Hey. Arazid. There you are.
Are you alright? It doesn't look like you maybe slept.
I slept a decent amount, actually. I just went to bed late and also woke up late. I woke up early, sorry.
Oh, buddy.
Well, I'm sure you could, catch some sleep in the Blue Lounge if you needed to.
No, I'm good. I want to help out. I want to make sure everything is good and, yeah.
Alright.
So, what have you guys been, what you been doing?
We reincarnated someone, and we slept, and we've been working on breaking up some diamonds.
Yeah, I have, 30 pouches of diamond dust. I'm just gonna... Chance will just give it all to Audra, because he can't use Revivify or any of those things.
Okay.
So
Well,
30
actually, I would like some too,
pouches
because
of-
I also have Revivify.
Yeah, well, we have 30 pouches of diamond dust worth 100 Southern DeLorean gold pieces each. Because if we
I'll
use
take
500
2.
for Harena, then that leaves 3,000 gold left over from a 5,000... Or
You're
from a
so
500
poor.
GP.
Don't have any money. Yeah, I'll take 2.
Okay, you'll take 2. Okay. I'm putting 28 bags in my inventory. This is so hard.
28 bags of 100 gold.
They're just
worth
going
of
in my
diamond
inventory
dust.
as Revivify, because I don't got time for this.
Oh, for Revivify, you're gonna need 3, because Revivify is 300 gold pieces.
Oh, okay, well, I'll take 3.
I like to
I'll just
imagine
put it
that-
down as Revivify 1, so I don't get
Okay.
I like to imagine that it's just gonna be like, we're just gonna like shove diamond dust up people's nose or something like that. Like, here you go, take a nice little hit.
I mean, canonically, Audra shoves the diamond into their sternum, but...
Just like we're just hitting them with some Narcan. Come on, get up. You're not dead yet. So I guess we head in and like just kind of looking upstairs to the to the top floor type thing. Does it sound like there's anybody up there?
Do me a little perception.
Perception is
And
this
take
one.
advantage from me shushing Arazid.
Not that you can tell.
And then she's like, shh.
She has to try to listen. Shh.
Yeah, at first you don't hear anyone, then you hear like a snoring coming from the floor above you.
I think people are still asleep upstairs.
should we make them, or?
Nah, well, let's let them rest. I more wanted to find people to start rounding them up to shove on the island, so that could get going. But
Okay. Are you sure you don't want to take like a proper bath first? They have like a nice bathing room here, and it would take just a little bit. And I know it's something that you do when you're stressed out. And
I mean, sure. Shall we?
we shall. Okay, bye, and talk to you later.
I try to double check my psionics, and I make sure all communication with both Audra and Chance is shut down entirely. Just completely clicking that part of my brain off.
You remember this time when Arazid and Ollie had a bath together at Ollie's behest? And you just like have little flashbacks to that, and you're like, oh, I don't want any part in what's about to happen.
All we did was talk, and we were like 5 feet apart because we are. I don't know what to quantify us as, but we're 5 feet apart. I don't think you guys are gonna be 5 feet apart. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and take a nap.
5 feet apart is pretty close intimacy for.
But 5 feet apart is next to each other in spaces in D&D.
Yes. So the pair of you go into the bath. Arazid walks into the sitting room and just face plants onto the comfy sofa.
I'm trying to keep it to a short rest because then I want to check in on Providence and Solas and be like, okay, when are we leaving? What's going on? What's the plan?
Did you make sure to have your little long rest? Because your token's still saying super.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that right now.
Hit the long rest button.
There's a button?
Yeah. Just under your ideals and personality traits and whatnot.
You're right under flaws, under characteristics.
Above the arrows.
I did it.
Yeah, you did. You've had a long rest, and now you shall have a short one. Providence.
I did. I got my nature's veils back.
Providence, you'd hear more movement on like the ground floor. You'd realize probably that everyone else is back if you wanted to force anyone else to go on Mecha's watch, or you can just chill.
She chilling.
Cool. Solas still writing that fire book. Cool.
I, as a person, desperately need to know what is being written.
Yeah, Demon. What is being written?
See?
I probably never will, because Audrey's not fucking snoopy enough.
Cool. In that case, the pair of you will have a nice bath. Arazid has a short rest. What else do you guys want to do with your day?
Well, gotta start looking at, once that everything's done, all cleaned up, people start getting, like, up and around and everything, then we need to, get ready to, head, or start finding people to get them ready, to go on the island and get shipped to Juras.
Cool.
I have two primary tasks. Anybody who is there anybody who wasn't stabilized by my efforts the night before? Like, is everybody
If
like
not by your efforts, by the efforts of like the multiple other people that were like volunteered as healers and triage people and the like, everyone that was healed is on the mend.
Okay. And is there anybody who's like not quite there who like wants to fight and come with us that I should be helping?
There's a couple of Kumtawa people, and there's like 5 Onalimbi's warriors that have sustained pretty significant injuries. Like they were kind of had cuts that were like infected with like necrotic flesh, and before you arrived, a couple of the first aid nurses decided that the best thing would be to amputate the limb.
Fuck. How many people have amputated limbs then?
3 of them. 1 leg, 2 arms.
We're just traveling today, right? It's gonna be like a whole day of travel, right?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
If we leave today.
If we move today. Okay, so I can cast Regenerate twice, and Arazid can cast it once.
Let me check that. Because I think I have to, like, I regen, like, a certain amount per day.
Yep. Thankfully, I prepared Regenerate, like a smart person.
I get 1d3, and I only used one, so I just get one back. I don't need to roll that.
Okay.
Okay, I have 3, I have 3.
Okay, I will take Arazid with me to help regenerate some limbs. If Arazid is willing.
Yeah, I'm willing. I'm not gonna not regenerate some limbs.
Okay, so I'll be doing that, and then I'm also gonna see if I can pop into my mom's shop and find some, like, ready-made clothes that will fit Solas, so that he isn't having to walk around, like, with his ankles showing.
Sure, you'd need to be able to take, like, accurate measurements from Solas first before you do that.
Can I eyeball it based on being really observant?
I would say that you would need to, like, give him, like, a proper look over. Because you haven't, like, done one yet, so you'd need to go to his room to do that.
Okay. I'm gonna try to do it quietly. I'm gonna try to, like, sneak in and just do it very quietly without bothering him. So... I feel like he doesn't want to see me or talk to me, so my entire body just goes all shadow-like.
Sorry, say again?
Oh, I said I feel like he doesn't want to see me or talk to me, so I cast Pass Without Trace on myself.
Okay, yeah, you cast Pass Without Trace, you sneak into Providence's room. Roll a sneaky check.
Okay, I'm rolling stealth. I also roll with advantage because of my tattoo, so that's advantage plus 10.
Yeah.
Advantage. So, 26.
I'm pretty sure a 26 beats Providence's passive perception.
If it was the first roll, no. But
Yeah,
yes.
it's advantage, so...
Plus 10 as well. Wait, Providence doesn't have a passive of more than 18. Please.
Passive of 8. Technically, I can theoretically get my passive up to 23.
Ah!
If I want to.
Nice.
But at the moment, I don't. I mean, I see the door open.
Yeah. Yeah, the door
I'm gonna
swings
come in
open,
through.
and inside the room there is no Solas.
Wait, no Solas?
Solas is not in the room. Is there an open window?
It's been partially closed, as close as it could be. But also on the desk there is a journal.
Okay, scanning the open page of the journal, any explanation to why he's gone?
Give me a second.
I'll take that as a yes.
Demon!
I did it over the break.
Would you like to read it out, Audra?
Sure. Yeah.
Or Demon?
I don't mind.
Hello everyone. What you see here is something I've been focusing on for a while. A journal of memories, a journal of places that will no longer exist, a journal of people who may no longer exist, a journal of memories, of events, of things that may never exist after we change the world back to how it was. Drawings, personal accounts, and the like, the best I can do at least. Now, for once in my new life, I'm going to be wholly honest. The journey I've been on, all the things we've done, I never wanted to do any of it. None of it. Yet, despite that, I can't deny that I enjoyed particular moments. So many particular moments that I can't for the life of me reference them here, but I was content with how my life was before this. Wandering the desert with my band of fools, the countless smiles, the laughter that spat in the face of our circumstances. I love those days, but those days can never happen again. I know too much of the world now. I wish to say a few words to those who are currently part of the group. So, Arazid, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's grown so much, yet so little at the same time. I mean, you're such a confident fighter now, yet you still cry as much as the day we met in that cell in Juras. There isn't much to say that this isn't to say that I don't appreciate you. You're an amazing person who has had a lot of chances to grow. I hope one day you can stand tall with a confident breath in your chest and not break down at every moment.
Oh.
Ollie, on the off chance you're reading this, I want to say that I never truly understood you. However, I respected you. You're a master at what you do, and I honestly have no fucking idea how your brain works. But I respect that about you. You're unpredictable in all the best ways. Sunny, I know for a fact you aren't reading this, but even if you somehow find this, I just want to say, may the sun always guide you in your path, and I hope your future is brighter than any sun in the sky. Stay strong, friend. Kabor, fuck you!
I love that.
Chance, I hated you at first, as did many, but you grew on me. You were the best, unbearable asshole that I ever had the pleasure of journeying with. But now, I'm not so sure. You're so normal? Restrained? It's hard to say. I understand that people change, but I feel as if there's something missing from you now that was there before. Regardless, you will always be someone I consider a friend, no matter how you are. Inqua, assuming you're reading this too, and not doing whatever you do, I just want to say that I appreciated you. I wished you were a little more present at times, but overall, you were a pleasure to be around. A number of amazing things wouldn't have happened without you. Audra, I'm going to be truly honest here. I never quite liked you. You're overbearing, intrusive, and I feel as if your seeming obsession with helping people is just a way to make yourself feel better, not them.
Damn.
That being said, honestly, it's not. Where's the lie? That being said, your presence is appreciated nonetheless, and I likely wouldn't be alive today without you. Providence. I don't know much about you. I don't care to know much about you. That being said, you're the greatest friend I've ever had, though I've not had you for long. I feel as if you're one of the few people that's actually cared to try and understand me, and for that I greatly appreciate you. Now that's done with, I leave these memories with you. Goodbye. I'm going home. And if you consider me a friend, please don't follow me. Solas. On the subsequent pages are drawings of familiar faces, Solas' accounts of familiar events, and drawn images of what places may look like after the world returns to what it was.
Beautiful.
Audra loses concentration on Pass Without Trace.
Providence. A wild Audra appears.
And sits on the floor with us and does not take it as well as me. Full crying.
Didn't do anything.
I guess Chance gets like the spousal alarm that his wife may be like crying and just like comes running. Cool. I assume around this time Arazid would also wake up from his nap.
Yeah, I'm up and out. Oh boy.
You
I
hear?
can't wait to go see the rest of my very good friends.
Yes, you hear Audra crying from the familiar direction of the shared bedroom.
I get there so fast that you would think my speed increased. But in reality, I'm just action, bonus action, and movement.
I mean, your speed
Like, I
did
pretty
increase.
much teleport.
Yeah. So the pair of you will reach, yeah. Do you kind of just, like, run right past Providence?
I mean, as Chance goes to, like, open the door, he just yells through the door, "I'm coming in! Do not fear!"
The
And
door
then
just gets
past
opened.
you, Arazid just dashes in as you open it. And does Providence, like, react? Do anything?
Oh, she opens the door for Chance. Just lets him bolt in, lets Arazid bolt in.
Audra just holds out the book in the general direction of them both.
Oh my god,
I grab it and I'm again. It's a slow it takes about 8 minutes, but I do read it.
Chance cracks a very faint smile at the "fuck you" to Kabor. So, this is going to sound very bad as a first reaction. Did he take the orb with him, or do we still have it?
It would have been in his backpack, I assume? Oh.
At the time, he makes sure to keep it on him at all times. So, it would have been near him when he left. Where it is currently, you're not sure.
Because that's... Look, as much as I want to respect Solas's wishes, there's two things here. We either need to get blood from Mechis or him to return the world as it should be, and we need the fire orb. If he wants to go off and find himself, be himself, I have no problems with that. He is his own person, he can make his decisions.
I don't want to be intrusive.
With the fate of this world hanging in the balance, I have no ability but to act. And with that, Chance is going to start looking for both. I'm not sure if I can do one investigation check to find like evidence of where Solas is going and if the orb is still here. Or like one perception check, or like one check to like, hey, I want to do a once-over of the room, see what's here, see where he went.
I'm gonna help with this.
You don't need to.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure who's up for deciding this.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, if you already get advantage, maybe Arazid can do his own independent check.
That's not gonna go well, but I can try.
No, because I have the natural 20 button.
Oh boy.
What do I need to roll, Ren?
Sorry, I was doing another chat.
Discussing things?
Yeah.
No worries.
Please just say what you wanted to roll again. My apologies.
Either like an investigation. So what Chance wants to do is basically go over the room, looking for both the orb and evidence of where Solas might have gone.
Okay, that would be an investigation.
Okay. As Chance begins to look, everybody just sees his eyes flash as I'm going to pour a 20 into this. So natural 20 plus where's my investigation? Plus 5. So roll 20 plus 5. Would you look at that? I rolled a 25.
No way. So I'm gonna hand over the answer to this to Demon.
Looking around the room, you kind of see signs of preparation, of like various things stuffed in wardrobes, and a number of clothing items, all of them the same. There's never really one for varying outfits, but it doesn't take you long to notice that underneath where the journal was placed, there is a small note. And if you were to pick it up and read it, it would say, P.S. I'm not a dumbass. The orb is in the tower.
Is there any evidence other than that of like where Solas might have gone?
The window was mostly open, right?
It's as close as it could have been from the outside.
So basically shut but not latched.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which you'd notice.
Oh yeah, I used to sneak out of these windows all the time.
Okay, the orb's safe. As like Chance holds up a note, but there's clear preparation. Like, look at the clothes. Look at it being closed.
I mean, he's been writing in this book for a couple of days, but I thought it was just, personal things, notes to himself.
Hey, Providence.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how this is a terrible analogy already. How would you feel about reaching out to Solas tonight and trying to chat and be like, hey?
Well, what's the scale there, Chance? Is 1 absolutely not, or 10 absolutely yes?
It's more of a how comfortable are you doing that, because I think you're the only person that really can.
I'm going to respect his wishes, Chance. If he doesn't wish to be contacted, I'm not going to contact him.
Very well. With this, I'm presuming Chance moves to, like, he sets the note down on the desk, moves to kind of, like, leave, and sees the bag.
And just a quick question, Demon. When you say the tower, do you mean on the sanctuary? Like where it should be?
Yeah, you would have put it on the pedestal
Ooh.
and activated it.
Ooh.
So it's all set.
With his blood and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So while he's travelling around, literally at any moment, all of it could be taken away from him if the others decide to finish it all up. Interesting. Yep. Love
He
that.
doesn't want to be too much of an asshole, but...
Chance is gonna point to the bag.
You gotta
You know
finish the
what
sentence there, buddy.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you.
Okay, nobody should be saying that to each other. Let's...
Except if you're known as
I know
Kabor.
tensions are high.
I don't think I've been this calm in ages.
Listen, if you want to cry, that's okay, but we shouldn't be mean to each other.
I really don't want to cry. If you're referring to Mekis, yes, Mekis is inside the bag. They are scared and comfortable there at the moment, reverted to a more primal state given the interactions with the spores.
Primal state, eh? And Chance is going to switch to the primal tongue and call out to the bag.
What do you say?
That's what I'm thinking here.
Okay.
I can communicate in this ancient primordial tongue, should you wish to ever speak.
You would be met with a telepathic wave of unfamiliarity and fear. And of hatred.
Chance is gonna look towards his sword and go, oh yeah. And then remember as well, oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
As he's just going to kind of turn as he continues to speak in primordial. I am not my father's son. He may have forced, coerced, I don't know how, my mother into whatever situation that they were in that ended up in my birth. I never asked to be born, nor did I ask that bastard to be my father. I killed him with my own hands, with this own sword that he stole, returned it to its original glory. I will not bother you if you do not wish to be bothered.
There's a hint in return of immense cat-like satisfaction and aloofness.
With a nod, Chancellor kind of looked to the others, switching back to common. Mechas can communicate telepathically, and seems to understand primordial. If any of you speak the language and wish to speak.
I try reaching out with my shit, and I go, I think we kind of lost your son, though. I'm sorry. Then they can understand. With my shit, I don't have to speak a common language for them to understand me and for me to understand them.
There's, in response, very much an uncaringness.
That makes Arazid sad. He's currently connected to the 3 people in this room and, Mechas, and that's it.
That Chance kind of turns and he closes his eyes. Nothing about you has faded. You are still the color of my blood. You are my blood. When I look in the mirror, it's not my own face I see. Your body is twice, once you, once me. Can I be sure of which is which? They'll be haunted, eventually. Except the shadow that makes up half their soul. On the last day, they will drive a sword in the shadowed heart and end its infernal reign.
There seems to be a stuttering in the soul. What did you say?
A prophecy my great-grandmother once wrote. About the amalgam. This is simply the path Solas must walk in order to face his destiny. Then that is what it shall be.
Destiny to kill me.
It did not name you by name, Mechas. It said,
Must as well have.
the shadowed heart and end its infernal reign. That can be taken in many interpretations. My great-grandmother, is not here to ask the exact details.
It is nothing else.
Chance will turn to the other 3. As I have said, I will not attempt to go after Solas. I will respect his wishes. He will return. Destiny has foretold it.
Do we know when?
On the final day. It said within the... It seemed yesterday was not the last day.
Felt final to me.
As our cool and Amonazid still yet live and draw breath.
With the mention of their names, there is a sudden, overwhelming sense of anger coming from this burgeoning sentience. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, you and everyone that can hear telepathy, which I believe is all of you.
Oh, I didn't know it was speaking to me, and I don't know. I could hear particular. Okay.
It wasn't speaking to you,
but I could hear it.
But if one were to unleash a telepathic wave, it would affect you.
It's fine. Constitution save, you said?
Yes. Do we know the DC?
The DC would be 18.
Ah. Whoops, that's not right.
Is that?
I fail.
You're fine, Arazid.
I don't get the +5. That's for maintaining concentration with Blade Song.
Well, that kind of works because Chance is the one speaking directly to Mekis at this moment in time, and the other three of you are just kind of like bystanders. So you don't really understand where this urge to just drop to your knees in awe comes from. But Chance, you do drop to both of your knees in awe.
Yes, you're a powerful being of primal power. And you were used to create the fire orb. I understand. Getting angry at me isn't going to change things. These are the prophecies that were spoken.
They must die!
Oh, trust me, I plan on killing both of them. They are tyrants on this world that they do not need.
In the place of a worm lord, you will have a queen! There's an eruption coming from the bag, and suddenly the room is bathed in firelight as Mekis seemingly comes back to sentience.
Okay. Oh, and the bed's on fire. All right.
Just a very soft sigh from Chance. If we're going to do this, let us do it outside where we're not going to burn a building down.
Or alternatively, it just isn't done.
There's that as well.
No reason to.
I presume I'm still under the effects of this spell, so Chance just kind of looking up expectantly. There is, in like his eyes, still some awe of the form.
You, my thrall.
Okay. No.
Silence!
No.
I have been wronged. I have been robbed of everything I hold dear, and now together we shall ruin it all. I will bathe them all in the fires of the hells themselves, and you will have a queen, not dark but beautiful and terrible as the sun, stronger than the seas.
Or we could just deal with the people directly responsible for doing you wrong and leave the seas and passive flame and other living beings out of it.
The fire seems to wane for a second, and Mecha stares at you directly and is like, "Yes, that's what I meant. Thank you for stealing my fire."
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're not wanting to like. Okay, sorry. You just like you were talking a lot of like I hope hyperbole, but like maybe literally.
I was kind of on a roll here, but
I mean, it's kind of a small crowd.
I clap to make them feel better.
Look, we're going to...
It was very scary.
There's an upcoming battle. We know where Cool is attacking next. If you want to come with us, you can enact your revenge. Aid us in doing so.
My passion for the murder of these creatures is boundless, and it will grow as fast as the worst of the forest flames can. It will burn like the city of brass, and I will reduce them to naught but ash.
I really love that energy. That's great. That's great for fighting an army. I like it. I feel like it's going to a good place, right?
I shall make it so even the stones of their homeland are melted away and forgotten.
Okay. But in the meantime, maybe you could release my husband from your thrall, because it's kind of not nice.
She just kind of like really offhandedly just like waggles her hand upwards, and you feel this pressure over you cease, Chance.
Chance will kind of get to his feet, dust himself off. Thank you. And as he kind of like looks towards Mechas, he's going to peer within the weave to try and interpret exactly what Mechas is.
Okay, I'm gonna need an Arcana check. And you really should have saved that 20.
Oh, I can, with that, I'm gonna flick my finger a little, and, I have a 13 that I'm going to substitute here, so this is gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20!
Oh, I rolled a 20!
No way! So, you regard Mechas' form. You attempt to see the strands of the weave. And you remember how when you resurrected Azure, that this like wish spell was almost like blinding with the tight, complex weaves of the threads of magic that intercrossed it. That is like a dark night in comparison to how brightly Mechas burns with the weave. She is like nothing you've ever seen before. It's like you're walking in the presence of the weave incarnate.
Yeah, so as like Chance stands up and like he opens his mouth to like start talking, you notice like his eyes flash as he's like dusting himself off and like ever so slightly plucks at the air. And then he just kind of like takes a step back, bumps into like the chest and like falls on his ass, like on it.
My love, are you okay?
My apologies for my prior actions and words. They did not do you justice.
I am beautiful and terrible. I can give life and take it away.
Oh, okay, I can do that too. That's fun.
You pretend at the power that we have, little godling. Mechas just seems to turn around and calmly regard all of you. It's also worth noting that she has controlled her flame, and the room is not currently on fire, which is a big bonus.
Yeah, I was expecting the room to be on fire.
And she's looking over at you, and like, Chance, pretty well won. Audra, a little bit feisty. Providence, a little hard to read, but like, Arazid, I think, seems to be quite, not fearful, but like maybe more interested and open to her. Kind of like the little applause that Arazid gave has really like bolstered Mechas.
Oh no.
And you, don't hide behind the door. Come in to the light. Unintentionally great.
No, that was so intentional.
Nice. You just kind of like butt into like the desk. The ink pot like falls over. Thankfully, the journal's been moved. What do you see when you see this form?
You know how sometimes when you stare into the sky, you get like that swirling vortex in the middle of your vision?
No.
Well, I think you should do it because that's what I'm seeing.
Oh, you mean when you stare at the sun?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
The lands that I come from is nothing but sun. I was born of the sun.
Yeah, you mentioned the city of brass that's in the plane of fire, Nine Hells?
Gold Star.
Yes, it's on the elemental plane of fire. Okay.
If there were like a chart, you'd have one little gold star next to it. That land is ever burning, ever beautiful, and I yearn to return to it.
You know, shortly I may be able to assist you with that. If you have a tuning fork that's attuned to that plane, I can cast that spell. It won't work probably right now, but I can cast it.
Yeah, it's... This dying land blocks any travel.
Then we shall kill all who oppose us, and we shall return me and the sons to their rightful glory.
And their rightful places, because that's...
The same thing.
Sure, yeah, sure. Okay. I understand you talk a lot in, like, hyperbole. I'm just, like, trying to remember that as you talk about, like, everything burning, and because, you know, this place is not all on fire, and if it were, I would have to do something about that. You know, it'd be, like, super unfortunate.
Mekis waves her hand and casts a spell. So you know that I mean you for no harm.
What spell?
I'm trying to work out how to cast it straight from the compendium, but I think I need to add it to the sheet first. I don't think I did that already, but it won't be very hard. Just give me a second.
You just drag and drop.
I did, yeah. I just had to open the shit.
Ooh, Zone of Truth. Audra will choose to fail.
Yeah, Chance gives no contest, he just chooses to fail.
I mean the four of you no harm. I speak in hyperbole because my soul is as passionate as the heat of the hells.
God
Oh, poor Arazid. Oh, Timothy.
I appreciate that, and I hope you don't mind me asking, like, clarifying questions now and then, because, you know, it just... Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between, like, hyperbole and just someone...
My
like,
passion cannot be easily understood by mortal lives. Yes, I am aware.
It feels like...
No, I kind of get it. Sometimes I want to burn everything to the ground and run around in the ashes.
That's normal. I feel like that's normal, right?
I also think that's normal.
Mekis raises a hand and, like, palm open, aims it directly at you, Arazid. Then do so, my little one. I reward those who serve me greatly. Remember this. And, like, out of her palm, just something begins to emerge. This shape, like a cylinder. And then it shoots forward, but it shoots forward with the exact amount of force to land at Arazid's feet. A wand of fireball.
He pogs. He just straight up pogs. Sorry for bringing the word pog into your dystopian post-apocalyptic future. Sorry for doing that. I'm sorry, but he just straight up
It was
pogs.
very poggant.
I vastly underestimated your magnificence.
I don't know about worship. I don't know if I'm really like a worship type, but we could be friends.
I do not have
you're the
friends with
god of
lesser
fire.
races often.
You're the goddess of fire, I'm the goddess of druids. It feels like, you know, a natural connection.
And Chance just like doing like the thing of like cut it out, like just waving a hand at
Cut
his
it.
throat, like cut it out.
Huh?
There is a primal fear in Chance's eyes.
Audra doesn't seem scared. Maybe I should probably
Like a primal fear and respect of like whenever you know whenever like natural disasters happen and people just kind of stand there and gawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it is that kind of like oh no, this is a walking natural disaster.
We're in a truth spell. If I want to lie, I'm gonna have to back up.
Or you cannot recommend such a ridiculous course of action.
Friendship is ridiculous now? Okay, I'll be quiet.
No,
I'd be fine with worship, but you are my friend's mom, so that might be weird.
For now, I tire of holding myself in. I have been a captive slave for 1,000 years. I'm going to go and burn some things.
Okay. We're not gonna burn the forest because that's been a lot. Let's go upstairs. Let's go.
No.
Island.
I am going to burn things in my own way, my own time, and I shall see you in Andoria in 2 days.
yes,
And
very
we shall take back my city!
Okay.
Chance just gives like 2 thumbs up. His mouth is just going up and down. Cannot find words.
With that,
Audra probably
Mekis Mekis starts to swirl and like grow brighter. Her cloak turns into fire, and she essentially becomes a flaming sphere, and just starts straight past Arazid.
Does this drop concentration on Zone of Truth?
No, but she's taking the zone with her, so.
Okay, well, before it leaves, Audra, you hear in your head, she's really attractive.
And she, this, like, sphere will just, like, blast right by Arazid, as Arazid's just like, ooh, and will exit via the exact same window that her son recently did.
In that moment, given that she is leaving, I'd like to try and repeat the same thing Chance did with the Arcana.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'd like to try.
Also just, like,
because-
ascertain her true form and all of that.
Yeah, because I have advantage because of my new discipline, and I want to give it a spin.
Mhm.
So that's 32.
Okay, yeah, like, what do you want to know exactly that, you're just trying to, like, discern what the fuck is she going, like, what is she?
Kind of what is she? Is she actually Mekis? Just interesting stuff. Why not?
Like, in the glimpse that you're able to, like, get of this, like, flaming sphere form of her, it's, like, the closest you ever have gotten to this level of overwhelming power is when you communed with Rendion. And Rendion pales in comparison to what you're looking at now. It's... For Rendion was like many, many weak souls all blended together. This is one incredibly strong soul. There is an immense power here that you gain the sense, while it's been trapped on this plane, indeed has become one of the strongest beings that you know of, that you have ever seen before. Someone who's able to summon, and not even summon, to produce magic items from their body at will, is something that you have never seen before, and something you feel desperately curious about. It feels like you are looking and in the presence of a god. In a sense, you feel a tiny amount of that power in yourself. Looking back on your relationship with Ferris, for example.
Yeah, on that note, she called us godlings.
She did.
I want to... What?
The four of you are left alone in the room.
Yeah, as soon as Mechas leaves, Chance falls to like hands and knees, gasping for air, as if he has not breathed since like he kind of like stumbled back.
So sorry, Mechas like physically left the room as a ball of fire, correct?
Correct.
The window. Audra would have like in that moment would have wild shaped into like just the fastest bird she can think of, a falcon, and just gone after the ball of fire to make sure it doesn't burn on her forest.
It did utter while in the zone of truth was active that it wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay. I thought it said it was going to burn things in its own way, which I thought was fuck you. I'm going to burn on your forest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It I suppose it could be interpreted like that. You got the sense that it was like not fighting you on that point.
Okay.
Is what I mean more by that.
Then Audra would go over to Chance that she wouldn't verb. So why were you freaking out so much? Okay. All right. Let's just match my breathing. Okay, slower than that. Don't hyperventilate.
You know, yesterday, how Madame Lulu gave that card with the wish spell in it.
Yeah.
I wielded that magic. The most powerful magic a mortal can ascertain too.
Debatable, but yes.
That amount of magic does not even hold a candle to what Mechas is.
Well, Mechas is a powerful being from an elemental plane of fire, and elemental magic is incredibly, resonant. Are you, like, fully okay?
I explained to you how I more or less became one with the weave, returned, and can see it. The physical manifestation that makes things up. I peered beyond to see the weave and what makes Mechas up, and it was blinding. The amount of power, just the pure energy.
That's good, right? Because Mechas is aligned with us at this point in time, so...
At this point in time, I was confident in taking Mechas on after clashing swords a couple of times. Now I am terrified of her.
Well, there's no reason to be scared because we're all friends now. Yes?
Yeah.
And some of us are going to worship her, I guess. I guess that's fine. There are temples to Mechas. I guess if people want to worship, you can worship her.
Oh no, I am not worshipping her. This is a primal fear.
Okay, do you want like a cup of like tea, like chamomile? Maybe instead of like kneeling on the floor, we sit on the bed, or...
Chancellor's gonna like nod and like shakily start like getting up and sitting on the
bodily
foot
kind of like guiding you, propping you up with some pillows.
And just sitting at the foot of the bed. It's like, we have to do everything we can to make sure Mechas remains on our good side.
Well, you do recognize that, it is an elemental being of flame. And flame by its nature is, well, huh. Can Audra do a history check at this point?
What for?
I would like to know more about Mechas' origins and the type of being that Mechas is based on my understanding of, hopefully, history, but...
Okay.
Because I know about the City of Brass, and I know about the Elemental Plane of Fire.
Sure. It would be more of a religion check.
So terrible at religion.
Help action, help in.
Actually, can I do insight to vibe check? Is Mechas the kind of being that is going to turn on us, or is Mechas the kind of being that's going to be consistent in the way that she acts?
Yeah, you can do that.
And I will take that advantage. Help!
So, from what you've ascertained, Mechas definitely seems like someone who is, like, more singularly minded in their drive, and wouldn't have any feelings of power, or, like, desires for power. Would burn where they needed to, and not burn down the world.
She seems like more of a controlled flame to me, like a bonfire. She's focused on what she's focused on, and for the moment that focus is very good for us.
And with that, I think we're going to end the session.
Oh yeah, it's time already.
Yeah. I just
That
got
was-
some
that
pizza
was-
delivered to me.
A